Jakarta, Indonesia, birthplace of Free Fire esports legends. Prepare for an unforgettable spectacle. Next up is major changes in our format in 2025 to enhance audience experience. Get ready for a thrilling new format called Champion Rush. In the final match, teams race to achieve the Champion Rush point. Once a team hits that mark and secures the next Booyah, they are crowned champions. After 8 games, if we cannot find a champion team with Booyah, the highest ranking team will be the champion. This high-octane format will push our top players to their absolute limits, delivering adrenaline-fueled action in every final match. We also look for a new layer of strategic depth in 2025. We're implementing the unique active skill rule. Each team member must equip a different active skill, forcing teams to adapt and showcase diverse play styles in every match. And last, we keep building a stronger esports ecosystem. This year, we have a global talent development program that empowers local teams, players, and talents to reach their full potential. Let's make 2025 an unforgettable year for Free Fire esports fans. Together, we'll create a vibrant and exciting competitive scene where legends are shaped.
São 17 pontos na mão deles e 3 times brasileiros zerados.
A missão difícil mas no fim das contas são 6 quedas que vão ditar quem vai ser o grande campeão.
Será que o Bops pode ser um jogador que vai ganhar 2 títulos seguidos no Mundial? Será?
Respira, entrega nas mãos de Deus, vamos fazer dar certo, tá bom? Marcha, mano, nós ganharemos, mano, nós venceremos, nós venceremos, rapaziada, nós iremos vencer, mano.
O sexto mapa é Kalahari, mas nós sabemos que não foi fácil chegar até aqui. O Mundial no Rio foi uma grande felicidade pra todos nós.
Mano, aí eu, fiquei na mente assim, caraca, eu tenho que ganhar logo em casa, minha família vai estar. Quem não gosta de ganhar em casa?
Quando anunciou que teria torcida, eu fiquei muito feliz porque poderia ser campeão e mostrar pra minha mãe, pro meu pai presencialmente, pra minha irmã presencialmente. Para os fãs do Fluxo presencialmente.
Tá do nosso lado, tá na nossa casa, a gente vai defender o título em casa. É o Brasil, não iremos fazer feio pra nossa torcida, né? Todo mundo apoiando, vibrando, torcendo, gritando, não tem como. O troféu desceu ali, saiu do airdrop. Começa a entrar os times. Aquela música, quando nós entra, barulheira do caramba, todo mundo empolgado, todo mundo feliz.
Então, antes de entrar pro jogo lá, a gente tinha conversado que mesmo com a diferença de ponto ali, de 17 pontos que eles tinham, a gente não queria saber, a gente ia atrás, ia buscar.
Ali eu falei, mano, hoje nós vamos fazer história novamente. Eu me arrepiei todo assim, a torcida gritando, a família lá em cima, não sabia pra onde olhar, até deu uma tropeçadinha na hora do palco.
Não aguenta coração, pega sua pipoca, porque a decolagem foi autorizada!
Pô, primeira queda, vamos se soltar, ficar tranquilo. Tirar um pouco do nervosismo, da euforia.
A gente dá um top 5 interessantíssimo pro Fluxo também, que consegue segurar muito bem essa colocação.
A gente ficou um pouco atrás, a gente falou, não, ainda dá, a gente sabe que dá. É 5 quedas, nosso time é o melhor time desse mundo.
Agora é hora! Agora é hora! É o bicho papão da game! Olha! É Booyah brasileiro! A torcida faz barulho, coloca a arena carioca abaixo!
No primeiro Booyah, que foi na segunda queda, a gente ficou tranquilo, o primeiro Booyah, opa, tamo no jogo.
Tava todo mundo muito confiante.
Joena, o último jogador da squad pra cima dele! Nós somos o bicho papão do game! Arena carioca transbordando! 3 partidas, 2 Booyahs do Fluxo!
Nova Terra é o nosso melhor mapa, assim, em questão de pontuação.
Nós tínhamos ali a convicção de que a Bigetron poderia não cair com nós e poderia fazer um jogo mais tranquilo. Só que a Bigetron veio com nós. Parece que foi de um jeito pra prejudicar mesmo.
Sozinho, abandonado, MT7, último jogador da squad, não! O Fluxo cai top 12. Acaba zerando numa partida que infelizmente não poderia zerar.
Não é possível, Vitor. Tomar no c, mano. Filho da puta ainda, Vitor.
Os caras conseguiram cair melhor, mataram a gente, caímos no top 12.
Depois daquela queda zerada, você dá uma respirada assim, aí você olha assim em volta.
Putz, será que dá agora? Tomamos um choque de realidade, tá ligado?
O time todo em silêncio, a torcida em choque.
E a gente ficou 15 minutos assistindo a queda.
Então, dos outros 15 minutos, era um animando o outro pra última queda, falando, mano, vamos que dá, vamos que dá.
A gente sempre tem que acreditar até o final.
Também que tropa. Tem última queda, pô. Última queda, cara. Acreditar, mano. Acreditar até o final, rapaz. Vai ser sinistro, mano. Já eu quebro esse palco, vamos trocar tiro toda hora, mano. Toda hora não trocar tiro. É isso.
E um dia antes eu liguei pra minha mãe, conversei bastante com ela. Eu nunca duvidei de mim mesmo. E aí foi uma classificatória muito difícil, onde eu comecei a duvidar de mim mesmo. E ela só falando, amanhã é o dia, a gente tá com você, vai dar tudo certo, vai tá lindo. Eu tô rodeado de pessoas que me amam, que confiam em mim. Eu tô com Deus, eu não tenho por que duvidar de mim. Amanhã vai ser o dia de novo e eu vou conseguir virar essa chave.
Quando eu fui na GH pela primeira vez, estava o troféu do Nobru, do troféu do Mundial. Eu olhei pro meu pai, eu olhei pro troféu e falei, e aí pai, um dia eu vou ter um desse. Aí meu pai lembrou, tipo, meu pai falou comigo, meu pai falou, lembra daquele dia que você falou, que você me mostrou o troféu do Nobru? Você falou que ia ter um desse, então, tipo, tô sentindo que vai ser amanhã. Se Deus quiser, vai se realizar. E eu confio muito em você, confio muito nos meninos, que vai dar bom.
Pensar na família, mano, é o que mais faz seguir, é o que mais me fez seguir, o que mais me trouxe forças. Quando eu desacreditava, ali na quinta partida, que você pensava, mano, será que vai dar? Eles trouxeram uma esperança a mais, sabe, de que, mano, tudo é possível. Eles acreditam em nós, então tudo é possível pra nós.
É isso, rapaziada. Respira, entrega nas mãos de Deus, vamos fazer dar certo, tá bom? Marcha, mano. Nós ganharemos, mano. Nós venceremos, rapaziada. Nós iremos vencer, mano.
Eu acho que, olhando assim, eu sou o espelho do time, então se eu demonstrar fraqueza, ou se eu demonstrar medo, o time vai ficar com medo, o time vai enfraquecer. Eu tenho que estar 100% confiante, eu tenho que trazer a confiança pro meu time.
Começou! É a última partida, nosso último game. É hora de fazer história. Tudo nosso, nada deles, pra cima!
Ali era a queda da nossa vida, a gente tinha que, o ano todo que nós treinamos, nós tínhamos que dedicar naquela queda.
A gente tava saindo ali do barco, subindo o morro, aí acho que foi MT7 que fala, mano, tão chupetando reto em nós. E aí, tipo, começa a vir uns passarinhos assim, ó, 1, 2, 3, tudo caindo no chão assim, a gente matando muito fácil. Nós mata o águia, que isso, mano? 10 balas de lança no ult dos caras.
Viado. Bora, irmão. Vamos ser campeão. Bora, caralho. A gente não vai pegar aqui o dele. Eu não vou pegar um monte também. Olha o chupeta. Eu peguei um chupeta daqui.
Ele tá cheio de bala de lança, a gente vai dar bom, a gente vai matar um monte, a gente vai dar o buia.
Aí eu escutei eu acredito.
A gente soube coordenar certinho, o Bobs falando pra gente rodar direito. Foi os 4 rodando direito, os 4 rodando direito.
No final é só gritaria. Roda direita. Tava uma loucura, mas o que é importante é que dá pra entender. Gira direita.
E os caras rodando juntos, eles rodando junto. Mas a gente sabe a hora de parar, a gente sabe a hora de trocar tiro.
Direito, tô indo. Esquerda pulando. Escuta, roda mais. Vamos atrás de tu, papai. Tem direito.
A gente passa por baixo da escadinha assim, o Gil deita um e cai. E aí chega uma hora que não tem como mais girar, a gente bate de frente com os caras.
Paramos na hora certa, o Buat matou 3 lá, eu matei 2.
E nesse tempo que o Gil caiu, a Twitch começou a encostar, querer pegar nossas costas. Aí nós já deu dash aqui nas costas deles. E aí fica eu, Bops MT7 contra 2 deles, né? Aí o Bops derruba um, o MT cai e fica 2x1.
O MLS consegue me derrubar também.
Mais um jogador no gelo, só tem Bops e Buat. 2 jogadores agora, vambora Bops, pra cima deles não!
Aí fica 1x1.
O Bops na hora lá, todo mundo, sou mais tu.
Respira, irmão. Sou mais tu. Então melhor.
Descobri que o Buat tem um gatilho, assim, pode-se dizer, em falar, sou mais você, sou mais a gente.
Aí eu falei, não, se eles ainda mais eu também sou, vambora, pra cima deles. E não tinha como eu perder aquele X1 pela energia que eu tava naquela hora ali do time todo.
Eu pulo pro mesmo lado que ele, a gente se encontra e eu deletei ele sem nem perder vida. Mandei ele de volta pra casa, triste.
O Butzinho conseguiu a tua histórica, porque sem ele o título não seria possível.
Vambora, Buat ainda no jogo, é contigo, garoto. Bate no peito, chama a responsa, vai que é tua!
Aí a gente foi lá, comemorou o Buia e ficou tipo, caraca, será que deu certo? Será que não deu?
E aí? Deu nós? O que aconteceu? Como que tá?
Aí ainda bem que anunciou muito rápido, porque eu tava tremendo já.
A Camilota já começando a falar.
Grita junto comigo, Fluxo, equipe campeã! Parabéns!
Do Fluxo, equipe campeão.
Aí eu olhar pro lado do Buat já chorando muito. Mano, fala qualquer coisa e ele começa a chorar. A primeira reação é tirar o fone, começar a chorar assim, igual uma criança. Passa um filme na cabeça que você passou o ano todo, a vida toda, tipo, vivendo pro jogo. Aí mudou tanto. Gente, não vou conseguir, eu acho. Esse assunto do Mundial é muito delicado.
Chororô, aí eu chorei, meu pai chorou, minha mãe chorou, aí meu irmão tava lá, meu sobrinho.
Então acho que esse título é para todos eles que me ajudaram a ser quem eu sou, me educaram e estiveram comigo nos meus melhores e meus piores momentos.
Uma palavra? Nossa senhora. De gratidão. Acho que a palavra certa é gratidão.
Gratidão? Gratidão é bom?
É realização.
Acho que união.
Grato por tudo, grato pelo título, grato pela minha família bem, meus amigos bem, todo mundo bem.
É muita emoção para a família ver um filho sendo campeão mundial.
Se tornamos as pessoas com mais título dentro do jogo. Bizarro, porque até ano passado, 2023, eu não tinha ganho nada ainda. Eu era só um molequinho feliz jogando LBFF.
Eu acho que nesse próximo mundial vão aprender a respeitar mais a gente.
E pra quando trombar com nós dentro de jogo, ficar em choque, sentir medo, tremer. Porque todo mundo sabe quando é nós. Os caras ficam em choque, os caras tremem, porque sabem que nós não vamos errar. Foi glorioso, foi grandioso, nós conseguimos. Nós fomos campeões.
Okay.
Dear survivors, 2024 was a year of incredible plays and unforgettable moments. But legends are forged in the fires of competition. From zero to hero, the journey to victory starts again. 2025 promises even more intense action, more thrilling victories, and a legacy that will be shaped from passion. Let's dive into the roadmap and major changes of Free Fire Esports 2025. First up, let's have a look at the FFWS series. we're bringing you all the thrilling action from top-tier regional leagues in Brazil, Latin America, Southeast Asia, Middle East and Africa, and Pakistan. Preseason leagues will happen in Feb to March, then most of the leagues will start around April 2025. 2 epic FFWS C offline showdowns are coming up. Hanoi, Vietnam for the spring season, and Bangkok, Thailand for the fall season. And of course, we're working on expanding our esports footprint by activating more regions in 2025. After dominating regional leagues, the elites will converge on Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the EWC in July. Then, the ultimate battle arrives. FFWS Global Finals in Jakarta, Indonesia, birthplace of Free Fire esports legends. Prepare for an unforgettable spectacle. Next up is major changes in our format in 2025 to enhance audience experience. Get ready for a thrilling new format called Champion Rush. In the final match, teams race to achieve the Champion Rush point. Once a team hits that mark and secures the next Booyah, they are crowned champions. After 8 games, if we cannot find a champion team with Booyah, the highest ranking team will be the champion. This high-octane format will push our top players to their absolute limits, delivering adrenaline-fueled action in every final match. We also look for a new layer of strategic depth in 2025. We're implementing the unique active skill rule. Each team member must equip a different active skill, forcing teams to adapt and showcase diverse play styles in every match. And last, we keep building a stronger esports ecosystem. This year, we have a global talent development program that empowers local teams, players, and talents to reach their full potential. Let's make 2025 an unforgettable year for Free Fire esports fans. Together, we'll create a vibrant and exciting competitive scene where legends are shaped.
Tá na liderança, são 17 pontos na mão deles e 3 times brasileiros zerados.
A missão difícil mas no fim das contas são 6 quedas que vão ditar quem vai ser o grande campeão.
Será que...
Welcome, survivors. For the first time ever in the history of Free Fire Esports, we bring you the FFWS Spring 2025 preseason. We have gathered the 18 top teams who will battle for their share of $50,000 over 7 days in both Battle Royale as well as Clash Squad. My name's AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only Neptune the Gentleman Garcia. We will be your casters for the day as well as throughout the whole BR run, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I'm real excited on what's going to happen. It's a new year for Free Fire, and it's a new format. Well, there's a lot of things that isn't new in the tournament scene. So I'm really excited on how it's going to turn up right now as we begin with the preseason.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you know, season after season, year after year, we've seen the meta shift. And then there comes to a point where the game is becoming really, really solid in terms of, you know, the balance between the active, the passive skills, the weapons out there, in terms of what the players and the teams can explore through the meta as well as whatever that's available within the game. And then, of course, some of the curveballs that Garena Free Fire has always thrown at us through the change in rule set. I think it keeps things interesting, Neptune, and things are going to continuously remain interesting here. I'm excited. I have not seen, you know, excitement like this within the Free Fire esports scene for a while already, because, you know, usually we have 1 or 2 changes. This time they're like, wham, take it, let's start 2025.
I mean, that's what makes it exciting, because it will be a huge ball. Well, it would be a huge curveball for everyone, but we're talking about something huge. We're talking about a prize pool, and the first place will be taking $8,000, and we're talking about Battle Royale just right here. Now, it goes down, tapers off from second place, and fortunate enough, even for those in 13 to the 18, we'll be taking $250 plus there's also a chance for one player to get $500.
Yeah, I mean, some of you guys are confused, right? AJ said $50,000. That doesn't look like 50K. Yes, it does look like 50K. Like Neptune said, you're only looking at the BR portion, which is $30,000. And that is going to be happening on the front end. And you will also have the final 2 days where we will have Clash Squad. As far as Battle Royale is concerned, you've got the knockout stage running through the 5th to the 7th of March, Point Rush on the 8th, and then the grand finals for Battle Royale will be on the 9th of March.
I love it when a game which is normally played in Battle Royale has Battle Royale posted on the scene. On the screen, because it means that there's something else. There's something else in store. So for those of you confused, well, just wait for everything that will be thrown to the players, to the teams out there, because this is just the beginning. Okay, knockout stage, Battle Royale, this is just the beginning, because this is a format that we are going through right now. Yeah, pretty much it looks like the same, but if you look down the bottom, there are new rules. First off, the unique active skill, and then the double elimination points that will be explained later, and in a more explanation would be the champion rush for the final day.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now, if you guys saw the advertisement kind of like explaining the new format, a lot of emphasis would have been put onto champion rush rules already, but we don't want to overload you with information on the first day in itself. The champion rush as well as the double elimination points will not really be focused upon within the group stage, so we can chill. The main one we want to focus on is the unique active skills. So in the past, Neptune, we've had like the triple Tatsuyas, we've had quadruple Tatsuyas running around the battlefield. So this time they are going to be limited, but more on that a little bit later. Point system stays the same. You know, we don't want to change too many things in here. You hit the booyah, 12 points, 9 points for that second spot. You know the drill. You minus 1 point for each and every single consecutive spot that follows that. 11th and 12th get nothing, but of course, every single elimination earns you 1 point.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not broken, why fix it? Why change it? So that's why the point system is still the same. But others that has been changed, it's not broken. It's just that we found a new way to spice
to torture
things
them.
up.
Sorry. To spice it up. I mean, spice it up. Yeah. What do I mean? Sorry.
Well, you know how it is. You're a gym guy, so you would know how it feels if you've been doing something the same thing for 2 years or 1 year. So that's why we're changing it up. But there's no changes in the tiebreaker rules. Once again, it is not broken. It is working. Number of booyahs will be the first step. It will be followed by total elimination. And if that's not enough, we go to the survival ranks.
Yeah, like we talked about during the rehearsal, we've never changed the tiebreaker rules because we've never needed to use many of these tiebreaker rules, right? It always kind of gets decided on that final match in itself. And, you know, but you never know. You never know. So if in any case, we do need them, and then, you know, by some miracle, one day we do need it, and we actually go through all 3 of these tiebreaker rules, I think that'll be pretty historic. But of course, you know, out of Dream World Mustachio, back to reality. It's the one unique active skill rule. So 4 players, everybody brings in the skill, but if any of those skills doubles up, they have to change it so that each and every single player within the team is using one unique active skill. So you cannot be spamming 4 of those A124s anymore. You cannot spam 4 Tatsuyas. You can't do no spamming. Now the teams have to be so much more tactical with their approach. And this kind of balances out the gameplay as well. You're not going to have everyone just moving on in for that super rush gameplay mode.
Yeah, it also shows what else can be used, because we know how the pro scene shows up a different side of the game. So if the pros can think of different ways to use those active skills compared to what we've seen before, and then this is their platform to do so. But going back to our format, again, we've seen this champion rush. We start off the grand finals that might reach maximum of 8 games, and if any of the teams reach 80 points, they will activate the champion rush condition, and if that's activated and they get the booyah, they will be the champions. But if no one grabs the booyah after activating that condition, then it will go to the total standings.
So if your IQ is somewhere around mine, I'm betting you're confused. Okay. Because it took me a few rounds of reading this to finally be like, oh, that's what it means. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it if you didn't get it. You join the Mustachio camp on that one. We'll explain it a little bit further when it comes to the playoffs. Of course, day 1's team list, we've got Group A going up against Group B as usual. Group C will take a break. They haven't even started. They're going to be resting. They're going to be joining us tomorrow. Buriram United Esports, Toda, Twisted Minds, Bigatron Esports, GOW Esports, as well as Expand make up Group A.
And for Group B, WAG, Onyx Olympus, Team Vamos, Heavy, Evos, Divine, and PE Sports. And you might be excited to see because it is a mix-up. Like, not a lot of the teams in the same region will be in the same group. So that is something that really excites me as well, because you will see how dominant a specific group set a team will be. And we're only talking about 3 days of the knockout stage. So it will be quick in terms of that roll around.
Yeah, you've got some of the team lineups here just having a couple of changes, and some others having drastic changes, right? You look at Team Expand, you don't recognize any of those players anymore, and then you look at Vamos and you go like, wait a minute. So a lot of shakeup has happened within the Malaysian circuit as a whole. Vietnam remains to be strong. The teamwork continues years on end. Good to see teams like WAG still sticking together, teams like PE Sports, but of course you see Lao Ho hopping on into the squad as well. I wonder what they can do, right? Because Vietnam has just been that up-and-coming region that has taken everybody by surprise.
This is a fine-tuning that Vietnam has been doing and probably needs to be able to get to that level. Well, they've gotten to that level, but, you know, they want to grab more. They want to be the champions. They want to be the ones chasing the previous champions and the ones changing the storyline for the side of Vietnam.
Yeah, absolutely right. And you know, I never in a million years would have thought, okay, that's exaggerating, right? Because we've seen some moments of hope, but I really did not think it would be so soon where we would actually be cheering Vietnam on a stage like, you know, the C finals or on the world stage. I would have never thought of that, because this is coming through like, you know, a few years of shoutcasting for Free Fire Esports, right? The region always had promise, but a lot of inconsistencies. But in the more recent times, the consistency has been mind-blowing. Something Vietnam has been doing has been working like a charm, and, you know, they shouldn't change it. In fact, I hope they share it with Malaysia, bro. I want more teams to grow in Malaysia the way Vietnam has been growing. It has been truly inspirational. Of course, very strong region Indonesia is. We have always seen their tenacity, and especially on the big stages, they really show up, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that, especially for those regions. Well, not just a region. I mean, there are a few teams that has been there for quite some time, but still are struggling. So hopefully they will learn from Vietnam as well. The top 3, I would say, from Vietnam on how they move from like average pro scene. There will be averages. So average team to ones the casters are cheering on.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at one point, even Heavy had us screaming their names, right? I mean, crazy fights we've seen all of 2024. 2025 is off with... It's off in style, man. I think we've learned a lot through each and every single tournament ran within 2024. And look at how clean we're starting 2025, right? You gotta love it. And look at this. One more shake-up. Game schedule. We start with Purgatory. But that's not gonna be every day, because now, and moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, survivors of all ages, we're hitting the randomizer on the maps at the very start of the day. And then, of course, on Game 6, we bring that randomizer out again. So today's arrangement is Purgatory, Kalahari, Bermuda, Alpine, followed by Next Terra.
And it's one thing, it's not just a curveball, one curveball after the other. It's like they put in a throwing machine in front of the teams right now. And all they have to do is either like avoid all those shots or like head on.
You gotta hit it, man. You gotta hit it, right? You got to hit the balls. And this is exactly what some of these teams are really good at doing. I mean, those reflexes, those very, very quick minds, you gotta love it. And Free Fire is the kind of game where you're gonna need your reflex to be, you know, on point, right? Because, you know, just like that, you can see some of these players hitting those 180s. Amazing what they can do out there on the battlefield, especially with the snipers. The snipers have always been so impressive within the game itself. But when you do the comparison, right? When you run this comparison on the Southeast Asian level, the level of competition itself, there's such a huge jump, right? Because we recently have seen how the Thai circuit has come to a conclusion, the Malaysian circuit as well, Vietnam. These are the creme de la creme. These are conquerors of their own individual nations who have now come here, who are meeting for this very, very big party to fight over $50,000, which is a lot of money, Neptune. And dude, I'm just happy we get to enjoy this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why not be happy to start off something new? There's a lot of new things, and this is just a preview of what's going to expect towards the rest of 2025. So I'm really excited to be here. Hearts like really thumping really hard and fast because what's about to happen. I still don't know.
I don't know what to expect. I think so much has changed in terms of the mindset of the players as well, because it's been so long, okay, since I've shoutcasted, because, you know, we've had all of 2024 come to a great conclusion. And, you know, during this break, there's been a lot of changes on these teams, right? Some squad shakeups. They have kind of shed their leaves that were kind of shriveling up, and they've got some new leaves now sprouting on this tree as well. I want to see exactly what the dynamics are with these teams, right? And I also want to see how the active skill implementation is going to be affecting some of these squads who have been going on a tear in terms of really spamming all the skills out there, because out of the competitive circuit, you're still going to be doing that, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot. What I'm happy to see is some of the active skills that we've seen from the early parts of Free Fire will be back, and that's something that excites me. I mean, the old ones that has been disregarded will be back. Will
disrespected?
Be shown.
You mean?
Disregarded? Not disregarded. What I'm waiting to see is someone will be pulling out the Wukong. That has been one of the OG meta that we haven't seen for quite some time.
No. It's always hilarious when someone actually pulls it off right. Now, a little bit of camouflage will not hurt. I mean, I want to see a lot of skills used out there. I'm waiting to see exactly how they get creative with this as well. So a lot for us to expect, but a little bit more, you know. So Neptune and I, we're going to be doing the first 5 days, which is going to be Battle Royale, right? And then the final 2 days is going to be Clash Squad. So the top 8 teams from BR will move on to Clash Squad to play for the rest of the $20,000. I mean, Neptune, come on, how cool is that? You dominate here, you win a lot of money, maybe even the #1 spot, and you take away the 8,000 USD, and then you get to play for 20,000 more USD, but only among 8 teams, which means the top prize is still going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that is still pretty decent. If you consistently do that for
Yeah.
two modes, then you will get like 16, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a huge amount already, and we're just talking
Yeah.
about preseason tournament.
Yeah.
It's not the spring, it's not the fall. That's preseason. It will like help them off to prepare for the bigger matches.
Okay, so it looks like we actually have a little bit of extra time here to, kind of discuss a few more things. And so let's talk about, one of the biggest shakeups that we have, right? You've got the championship point now that these teams are going to be rushing for the champion rush rules. So champion rush rules, initially it looked complicated, but once again, for the clarity of everybody out there, we have set it at 80 points, which means if any teams reach 80 points, the next time this team gets a booyah, they are the champion. But let's say if they reach 80 points and the next game, they get the number 1 spot because they had the most number of eliminations, but they get the second spot. They don't get the booyah. The games still continue. There is no champion yet. Okay, and here's what's crazy about this whole thing, right? In the history of Free Fire esports, yeah, sometimes you have that one team running away to the top of the leaderboard and they're first ones to reach 100 or something. But usually for 80 points, there's a high probability a few teams cross this line, this initial line, at the same time. So you never know exactly who's going to hit the final booyah of the night and become champion. That's going to be crazy, but that's exactly the kind of craziness you can expect by the end of the 5 days, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's hop on into the very first game of the day.
And here we go. We will be brought into Purgatory. A lot of changes. One huge change. We're not going to start in Bermuda, but this is another curveball, bro. I mean, we've thrown them so much already, and the flight path is it's not favoring them overall.
Yeah, at this point, the players are like, wait, can't give us a break. No, you shall not be given no breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be a fun start for everyone. Just like Neptune has pointed out, the flight path has decided to torture everybody by just getting skewed towards the bottom side of this map here. WAG, undisturbed within Brasilia, at least for the time being.
At least for the time being. I mean, most of the teams will be squished into the bottom of the southern side of the map, but they do have time to go and grab and shoot out on the other side. But we are seeing first blood already. It is Todak going against Twisted Mind, as well as chance of Heavy and Bigatron to knock each other out.
Oh, Twisted Minds. We gotta catch up with them in a little bit. Heavy though. Hans! With a sliver of health, actually gets away, but Dead Nice down on the ground. Hubs could not run away in time. Bigatron, Delta eating them up. Mufasa's down as well. Evo's Divine from nowhere, also taking shots at them. My goodness me, Heavy taking heavy losses early on.
Heavy losses indeed, and that's something that you don't expect in this game. But, I mean, for the hot drops, it is possible. This might not be their usual drop, thus they were forced to join the other teams in one area. But PE Sports right now, it looks like they have been avoided by WAG, and those who have been stuck in the southern part or probably mid part will be moving a little bit north, depending on where the first face of the circle will be as well. So let's see and find out in a bit as to how they're going to converge. But for now, after all those early engagement, they will be buying some time.
Yeah, let's see how they get to route this one around. Soda, very early game, 2 points already. Fearsome, they go after Twisted Minds. Obviously, they don't know who they attack because for the player's perspective, they have got no idea who they are in engagements with because the elimination feed has been switched off, right? So when they attack anyone, it's basically like shooting everyone and everyone's name is nameless.
I mean, imagine
Nameless is shooting him.
imagine like you thought you were already taken down 4 players, and then a few more came in, and you're thinking like, how fast can they revive these teams? But as we go in, there's no revival yet for Decos because he has been knocked down, and they are going for the chase against Heavy. And once again, Heavy has been in trouble from the beginning of this map.
Yeah, Heavy just losing player after player. And Toda once again finding another Twisted Minds player. Nameless. He should have just stayed silent there, man. They were actually moving away. But it doesn't matter. Diamond had enough to bring the man right back. Buriram, on the other hand, as you can see, classic Buriram, not focusing on gunfights early game, focusing on the loot just to make sure they can blaze on towards that final circle.
I mean, Buriram most of the time keeps silent from the beginning, and then later on, that's where they spring up. But JOW is trying. They're trying to knock on the Hornet's nest, and there you have it. The battle is on, but no one's going down just yet, apart from Wasana, who has been hit by the end.
Beautiful headshot by the end. Here comes Yanbin with the backup as well. And the Bison in the backstab. Jonah, but Riptide Rhythm out of nowhere. Yanbin slays. And Buriram, they will fall right here as GOW's counterattack is absolutely sublime. Moshi with the shotgun. Can he hop on away? And the shield saves him a couple of HP more. And the man would have been shut down, but Yanbin and the Bison looking for the finisher.
Let's see if they can finish him off, and there you have it. Moshi is down, but I don't think it's over just yet for Buriram United. He had a little bit of time to bring them back. Jonah has been eliminated, and they are still alive. But going into the other side, Expand taking down a few players of Bigatron, and they might be in trouble. They don't have that much of a cover.
And the Riptide Rhythm is breaking down their defenses, and Kiba will be sacrificed. Fantastic push, but Deco's pushing his luck too much, and Kensto will go down. Afik with the opportunity for the shutdown, but knocked down to the ground, and Koja knocked right back and saving the day for Expand. Kiba on the revival, the final opportunity for Bigatron to remain in the match.
The Giant Slayer being slayed a little bit too early into this fight. And let's see if they can survive. But as we go, Evo Divine, 3 eliminations already, and Ray is doing a little bit of damage onto Todak. Jojo will be taken out, and that gives them the 4th point.
Expands against is on fire. 4 eliminations already. The Malaysians. We've seen this on the Southeast Asian level quite a number of times in the past. I'm hoping it's a little bit different this time around because they're starting off really, really hot. And we've seen that fire get snuffed out too early in the past because the other regions usually choose to start a little bit slower and just read the room a little bit first, Neptune.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, reading the room and then like executing on it. Let's see if that will work for them. But on the other side, we've seen a takedown by Diamond, but going into Team Vamos, a team once again that is struggling from a previous competition, but hopefully the changes in roster will help them. And the same story from what we've seen in Expand. They start off hot and then later on taper off, cools down, and hopefully that's not the case.
Axel, no eliminations yet. That's a little surprising. This man is usually a little hot on the shots. We'll wait and see. So the active skill cards are obviously going to play a big role here as well, since they can't spam some of these skills. And as I say that, Twisted Minds just continuously hitting revive after revive. Is not finding the right start to this match at all.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting Twisted Mind to go back to where, like, what they are before they became Twisted Mind, the aggressive team. But right now, they've shown some aggressiveness. It just so happens that they missed a few of their shots. So hopefully they will try and be tactical in those approach, because the other teams might expect that they will be dropping in a specific area. They know it's Twisted Mind, and they know how to counter that aggression.
One way of looking at it for sure. PE Sports trying to look for a decent rotation in so that they don't get spotted out. Sticking close to the vending machine just in case things do go south. So you see their rotation being really, really well calculated here. But Expand out of nowhere is looking to surprise them. as they do their best to get away.
Let's see if they can get away or if they will get away. It looks like they might also be getting a better position, especially as they saw those players from Expand dropping in on them. But speaking of a drop, Bureram United almost dropped earlier now in the face of Team Vamos. Let's see if the split that Jonah and the rest of the teams of Bureram will work for this team that has 3 eliminations already.
Let's see what kind of Bureram we get in here today. Is it the warm-up Bureram or I'm ready to chop your head off Bureram? We've seen both versions already. Jonah! And we were talking about Axel and where were his eliminations. Axel responds. Sharp shot taking out the flanker on the side of Bureram. And now, exposed already. These boys, they're running. Wasana holding back the fort. Jun pushing a little bit too far ahead without the rest of his cover. The team members too far away, but Jun saves himself in the nick of time. But the Tatsuya burst does not help him get close enough.
The Axel right now focusing on Get High, who's running towards the blue, and Wasana is still stuck in the compound, but June managed to miss where Wasana was, and I think with that visual on the fence, they might have a good idea, but they need to be careful on how they approach it. There's a few flankers, a few players from Bureram United who might take them down, and Jonah has been taken down once again. Bureram United, Wasana has been taken out, and this is looking like Bureram United is just warming up. They are not yet heated in the battle.
Yeah, but I also have to say that was a great team up by Team Vamos. The positioning was phenomenal. The response time, as soon as they get that information of the position of that Bureram player, they are swarming him together, not playing it individually, not playing it like, quite honestly, you know, in a very amateur fashion, which Malaysia has shown us before in tournaments of the past. I'm liking this version of Malaysia. Consistency is key, though. We want to see more of that. And if they continue, I think they're going to have the other teams running a little bit harder and faster by the end of this competition, Neptune.
Yeah, that's what we're asking for. Like tournament after tournament, if the teams grow stronger, then they like the gap between the points when it comes to the knockout stage, the leaderboard, it will be very, very close. So let's see if they can maintain that. As we see, Diamond has been taken down by Traps, and Todak, another team that is showing up 7 elimination already, despite of them not working that much from a previous tournament. So I guess these changes is working for this team.
Yeah, look at that, man. I mean, Malaysia at the very top. Now, I mean, you know, this nation has started off hot and strong many times in the past as well. And they've gotten me excited too early, so I'm gonna hold on to my heart this time a little bit closer. But they are performing amazingly well. Look at that. Ready with the portal goal. Question is, when and where do they go? And those shots towards Onyx Olympus, Indonesians just tickling Toda at this point of time. Traps really low on his health. GOW keeping an eye on to Twisted Minds as well, who've gone for the split. And Vamos arriving from the back. This distraction, though, if Vamos stops to take this fight, they could get pinched by Dian. What a masterful shot.
Yeah, masterful shot indeed, and they step into Twisted Mind. Team Vamos might be in trouble unless Twisted Mind goes down first. June receiving a lot of damage from Twisted Mind, but here comes GOW, a double takedown on Nameless, and sadly Explosive goes down as well. Team Vamos is reversing it.
The Malaysians, I cannot believe it. And the 3-way battle puts Team Twisted Minds at the very bottom, and of course they were 1 man down, but because of that Twisted Minds, they still continue to survive. Now GOW up against Vamos. The question is, do they have space to run? They try to get away. Luffy try to cut out those flanks. Luffy in a 1v1. Dian puts him down. Toda eliminated. The hot start for the Malaysian team, but the first ones to get taken out, and Vamos follows suit. My God! Hot start, Malay. This is what I was talking about, Neptune.
I mean, it was just a wrong turn for them. They just jumped in between Twisted Mind and GOW. And yes, they managed to take down Twisted Mind, but lost resources, lost HP. They will be like really sitting ducks against GOW at that moment.
I mean, goodness me. I see, this is what I mean, man. They got me so excited again. All right. It's all right. We got one more. We got expand. Let's see if they can expand some horizons here for the Malaysian nation as a whole. But the Indonesians trying to make a lot of noise up against Vietnam's WAG. One elimination for X-Ball thus far. Boy must be pretty hungry. 13 minutes into the match already, and they're leaving him starving. PE Sports nearby as well. Onyx Olympus, Bigatron Delta showing up. This is about to turn into a party, Neptune.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 4th stage going to the 5th, and we still have 10 teams remaining. They will be undecided as to who will be targeting first. So this is where the focus begins, and the decision making to maintain and fix their eyes on one specific target. Now, Evo's Divine, Apex is already down. Ray still battling it on and still dancing it against WAG. Experiment stains to stay alive.
Rasia is just whooping WAG. This man, a triple K on WAG, looking for the final one. Come on, just finish off Cyrus, man. Rasia needs to get to the top. If Rasia pulls this off, he gets a quad onto WAG. But PE gets the revenge for their nation. Don't you dare touch our brothers. Only we can pick points off of them. And they take Evo's Divine out.
Evo's Divine has been taken out, as well as with the help of the blue. PE Sports grabbed their second elimination, and Expand managed to take down the remaining players of Heavy. Now, Twisted Mind, the team that has been in trouble for so many times.
That's it.
Will be in here. Kyong from Bigatron Delta takes him down. It's not even GOW.
Oh, Moshi. But Expand eliminating Buriram, Bigatron Delta. They saw that shot. They take the spot shots, and Rian just picked up. Kiba drops him. Kiba eliminates him. Bigatron Delta, they want to fight. GOW, on the other hand, might just be able to put some bullets to the way of Bigatron Delta. Expand in a lot of trouble. Everybody staring down at Expand through the barrels of their guns, and all of the crosshairs onto their players. 3 already sacrificed. Ken's the final one on that rotation. Bigatron Delta stepping out of their defenses to say hello to him. The distraction is there, but Ken survives for Expand.
GOW has a prime location. 2 teams below them cannot target them. It's only Bigatron Delta, but the blue is closing in, and BTR will be moving out of the compound. They will be flushed out and into the crosshairs of GOW. Same goes for those at the bottom. So I'm looking at GOW taking the WIN in this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Now Bigatron Delta, and this is what we talked about, the Indonesians as well, right? Is chilling all the way to the final circle, not really showing their cards just yet. And when they play, they usually have a really strong hand. But Vietnam, man, time and time again, they have shocked the world. And here they are, GOW, first match in 13 eliminations. We've got PE Sports in the house as well. Vietnam and Indonesia showing up strong here at Purgatory. Now the question is, who's going to step on out first? This circle is going to make them very uncomfortable shortly.
Now, Demon is becoming the demon at this point. I mean, they might have missed the ones on the rooftop, but if PE Sports jumps out, he will be like feeding on them. So let's see if who will be going down first. Ken's feeling that wrath and will be almost taken down, only a few HP. And Yanbin is just clearing the way, but he managed to get into the compound. And let's see if he can survive. Onyx Olympus is already in there. Still 5 teams remain, and we are counting down to 6th phase to the 7th stage of the circle.
Okay, Kyong, good headshot with the AC-80. Demon on the ground, bleeding out. But looks like the save is going to come through. Good glue walls deployed by his team members to go in for that pick. Yet another knock comes on through Demon. Well, be sacrificed, as it looks like the backup is not able to get to him in time. Yanbin and gang, they sacrifice one for the greater good. If they can still pull the booyah off, that sacrifice will be well worth it, Nep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bigatron Delta is just waiting. I mean, everyone's just waiting for the blue to close in.
Yeah,
so
20 seconds more, we get it.
if we look at numbers though, it seems like Bigatron has a better chance because everyone from this compound will be jumping out and fighting against each other. Yes, BTR has been targeted earlier. The focus might be lost later on. So they have to be staying silent, get in position, and just find a better approach to the next, I would say the middle of the circle.
Yeah, I think the best ones in the position here is GOW because they're at the very top. They will have to expose themselves the very last. Everybody else will have to get into the thick of it. As I say that, it's Onyx, Olympus, and PE Esports jumping at each other's throats. Onyx will get a couple of knocks. Kyong with the backup from afar as well. PE Esports will be the biggest losers. Nero, the final player, alive. Can he get away? And Expand will take the 5th spot. Kiba will not be able to stand. GOW finally jumps into action as well as they spot a weak end from the back. And Onyx Olympus right in front of them. GOW taking the fight straight to their brothers from Indonesia. Zyru is back up against GOW. Adam turns around in the nick of time, but he doesn't get to do anything. Zyru slain as well. And Yanbin and gang GOW rules it, but it's the monster truck setting a player right outside the circle.
Only Yanbin remains, and Faiz will clear it out. Bigatron Delta for the first booyah of this day.
Oh, brilliant play. It was that final knock, baby. The monster truck coming through in that final circle. And Indonesia has been teasing us with this potential monster truck phenomena for a while now. Very happy to see it on the very first day of our preseason. Just because it's preseason doesn't mean it's like just some warm-up match. There's cold hard cash on the line. There's $30,000 US on the line for Battle Royale, and these boys clearly want it. I mean, phenomenal performance, right? 14 eliminations from Bigatron Delta for 26 points, but GOW, the team that got slain by them, the team that got one of their players knocked out of the circle by them, they had 17 eliminations when they got taken down. Dude, I tell you, Vietnam, so impressive.
Definitely, I mean, very impressive. And even for that final moment, we've seen 2 teams from Vietnam. The same goes for 2 teams from Indonesia. And this is the final moment of that game where Nero had no choice but to go out with that monster truck, and it has been used by Bigatron Delta. It's not even their own. That is Grand Theft. Grand Theft monster truck for BTR.
I mean, brilliant stuff. Deanne just couldn't go in for that backup. And, you know, they just removed one player from the equation so quickly. But Yanbin was being very annoying. The circle pressured Yanbin. He went in there for the rush. But Bigatron Delta already had a player within the circle itself, just awaiting him. Easy shot for the finisher. Indonesia proves it is brains over brawn. And if you use your brains, you can also force a little brawn to pick up those extra points in the final circle. Phenomenal effort by all the teams. Everybody's heated up. Neptune, I did not see many weak plays there at all. Even the Malaysian teams, bro, the ones that are usually, you know, just feed out there on the battlefield, they perform so well.
It seems like the change in map rotation is working for them, because most of the time this is the 4th match, so they have their mindset already towards the end of the game, so they're warmed up already. Well, let's see. I mean, most of the time Bermuda is where it slowed down. I mean, it starts slow. They are waiting for every movement because everyone knows it's an OG map, so you know how to rotate, you know how to move yourself around that map. But Purgatory, this is something that, like, starting off with Purgatory, this is something that might not have been expected, or expected, but they just want to bring it on. There's no more, I would say we're out of the standards in terms of the previous tournaments.
That's actually quite cool, because even the players don't know where they're gonna start, right? So, you know, like we've talked, like, for ages now, for years now, we have always gone through the map rotations in a very singular form. Even if we do change, it's just like one map switches position. We have never had like random map rotations ever done in the history of Free Fire esports, and this is the first time, and I love it, right? The way it's done, because it's shaking things up in a very good way. Like you said, Nep, usually it's a slow start to the day, everybody's feeling each other out. This time it's just like, we don't know what to expect, so let's go get those points before somebody else takes it. And I actually like the fact that the Malaysians were the ones that took the initiative initially, but there's also a good reason why the other best of Southeast Asia were not taking those chances so early, right? They really wanted the rest of the fights to take place first.
Yeah, we're going to look at the highlights right now from that match and a little bit of a sneak peek or preview on how it happened. But again, couldn't agree more with what you mentioned. These changes are changing the mindset of the teams, of the players, and it's in a good way. In a good way, wherein they're always prepared. There's no, I would say, complacency in terms of how each match is being played. Everything is up top notch, or needed to be top notch. Otherwise, they will be at a loss.
Yeah, and it's not entirely the fault of the Malaysian teams that they got caught out so early here. The rotations on day one, you don't really know what to expect after a long drought in meeting some of the rest of the players from Southeast Asia in a setting like this, right? So obviously, many teams were trying to go for the rotation. I believe Toda and Vamos both got caught in unfortunate timings for those rotations. They just got cut off. And Vamos kind of sticking their noses where it doesn't belong, and they got shown the exit window pretty soon after that. But of course, more on that story in a little bit. MVP for Bigatron Delta, Kyong with 8 massive eliminations, running the homer. He's got that Kairos. You know why he's so daring to step on out there and take that damage. He's running that J-Beams as well. I mean, what does this man not have as a defensive setup?
Yeah, I mean, he is a tanker for the team and wants to go up close and personal, especially with that Mac 10. And he can also spot out enemies if in case they are far away from that Arvon scan. So 8 eliminations coming from BTR Kyong, 2,495 in damage. Not so much in the assist though. It's because it looks like most of the players from BTR are just hitting their mark and there's just making all those damage go through. So let's see if they can continue this on. The Giant Slayer, as we call them, from last year is coming back a little bit too hot.
Yeah, I think I really am a big fan of Kyong's build because I'm very like-minded with Kyong when I play Free Fire, right? You want to be able to sustain yourself in some of these gunfights, and he does that so well. You don't even get to slow him down. You don't even get to disable him. He's got that nutty movement, and this is just phenomenal stuff out of the Indonesian team right out the gates. Booyah team stat for you guys as well. You've got that A124 being run, and we saw quite a number of those Riptide rhythms make the difference out there on that battlefield.
Yeah, definitely. And they are also wearing the new Coda, which is being used by Kiba. I mean, the Aurora Vision is one thing that really helps them. If it activates, it increases the movement speed by 15%, and then the chance of discovering enemies. If you remember the screen that we were seeing earlier, like risk of being spotted or being seen or whatever. I can't quite remember, but that is Coda in play.
I mean, well, let's just see if or not they will be able to just bank on keeping this momentum up right now. We've seen the best version of Bigatron Delta in the past. We've seen them at their worst as well. They were giant slayers for sure, and there has been a couple of situations where they weren't able to keep that momentum up game to game. And this is something that the team would have obviously been working on within their downtime, and see how far that'll bring them.
Yeah, I mean, not far enough, though, is the difference between Bigatron Delta as well as GOW, both with 26 points. And this is a good example of how we were explaining the champion rush. If this happens on the final match, it would be Bigatron Delta who will be getting that chance for that number 1 spot. But as we go in, Onyx Olympus with 19 points, Expand, they got good elimination and 6 on the placement points, so 14 points, quite well for a Malaysian team.
Yeah, and of course, and if you look at it from the Malaysian perspective in itself, Expand is not the top team within the Malaysian circuit right now. So outperforming Vamos and Toda is actually quite impressive. But once again, unfortunate for Vamos and Toda because, very good start in terms of eliminations, but their rotations are getting cut off. And we can say the same for Buriram. In fact, Buriram had a little bit of a worse sort of a spot because they survived much longer than the Malaysian squads, but they didn't get into any engagements like the Malaysians on the other hand. So you get to see a little bit of a downside towards the slow play of the Thai squad as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to what we've seen from Twisted Mind as well, but we might be seeing or expecting a lot more from this team. It is just a start. It's just the beginning of our knockout stage, and it's just day number 1. So a lot of things might be changing, but also the map that we have in front of us. Again, we normally deal with Purgatory on second, but now we will be brought into the desert.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, we move on into Kalahari. What's going to happen? Well, more chaos. We have... The fact of the matter is, these teams now don't really know the pacing of the day, right? Like you've pointed out already, they've gotten so used to starting off on a certain map and then slowly ramping up if, you know, they have kind of conquered it, or really preparing for exactly how they're going to be taking the Bermuda. Now you're into game number 2. You still don't see Bermuda anywhere. You're not finding your comfort zone just yet. But of course, if the other teams are nervous, it's your opportunity to take advantage of them.
Yeah, let's see if they can take advantage of this as we are in a bit. We're going to go into Kalahari. Snipers is mostly the weapon of choice and the role that they can get more of those eliminations. So we'll have to find out if the refinery will still be taken by Onyx Olympus. If I'm not mistaken, that is their usual spot. And as well as, well, not playing with the RRQ. So Onyx Olympus might be taking that away from the rest of the team. And let's see if the flight path as well will be favorable for them, because Purgatory, it was rough for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to gear up for Kalahari when we kick this map off. We're pretty sure it's going to be fun, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Roger, bro.
We started today questioning if we'll be going to heaven or hell. Now we have been brought into the heated map of Kalahari that might be hell for the teams as we start off our drop or our flight from the maze towards confinement, and early parts of this area would be occupied by a few of those hard drop. I'm seeing one-on-ones that might be happening between WAG as well as Twisted Mind, and on our kill feed, it's Team Vamos going against PE Sports.
And once again, the Malaysians starting off hot, but of course, PE Sports show that they've got guns as well. Twisted Minds losing Exposi to WAG's Alan. I mean, there's just gunfights all around this battlefield, man. You can see even Expand losing Afiq. Man's bleeding out. GOW early shots. You gotta appreciate it. Kingfisher. Because though, shotgun in hand. Deanne trying to put him down. It's not gonna get enough of an opening. Now, not taking too many chances because this man is down in terms of glue walls. So once he gets caught out, it's gonna be spray op. Well, expect backup. Here comes Demon. So it's a 2v1 because... Oh, bye-bye, sir. Oh, my God! He actually pulled it off! But not for long. Yanbin's going to be picked right up.
It's a good thing that 3 players jumped him. Otherwise, like, that will be a lost 1v1. So, good play for GOW. We've seen this, a play of them sticking together, even for the final of the previous match. So, they are in a good start. And the same goes, or they ended well from previous match. They are starting it well for Kalahari. So, position-wise, they are also spreading out, cautious of where the rest of the other teams will be in this area.
He was Divine finding Don't Cry. Monero says they don't have to cry because they've got the money to buy them back. So we'll wait and see how this one settles down a little bit. The dust has barely settled for them, you know, landing in each of their drop spots. We've had so many lives taken away and so many revives bringing them back in here. Puriram! Jonah getting a piece for himself this time.
Yanbin is not getting it well. He has been taken down earlier, once again has been taken down, but this time couldn't be picked up. So a revive will be waiting for GOW, but they went against Buriram United. And we might expect a few players from that team to challenge them, but now it is Onyx Olympus. GOW in front and personal. Adam takes him down.
Oh, beautiful. And WAG bringing back their players, but Twisted Minds this time, catching them off guard. Alan spotting them from afar and provides support fire, only to find Exposy in the perfect timing. The 36 more HP man saves himself in a solid glue wall. No grenades just yet. Nameless hasn't tossed one in, but he's got the grappling hook to cut down this distance. Alan in a lot of trouble, but he's got the shotgun to get the damage done. One more shot needed, and he misses the opportunity. Nameless getting that revenge.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good weapon up close. It is a Bison that made that work. But United, though, getting this work for them as well with 3 eliminations already. And I think the next target would be Onyx Olympus. Wasana just scouting out the area, spotting Adam, and almost takes him down. It's a good thing that cover from the tower worked for Onyx Olympus. But information has been relayed, and Adam has been taken down. Once again, Wasana. Good shot.
Good shot indeed. Let's see if or not Onyx Olympus will be able to get away from them. Jonah just cooking up the nade, looking for an opportunity, an opening, and a finisher is there. A vending machine play for the revival. Spotted out. Jonah says not that quick. Zyru shut down. But Wings was there to bring him right back. WAG getting caught out by Twisted Minds here as well. No mercy gameplay coming through from all these players.
Now, we're seeing Buriram United and Twisted Mind showing their usual ways. They are getting a lot of elimination right now. Aggressiveness is not too aggressive compared to what we've seen in Purgatory, and they are still making it work, surviving for this game. Now, 11 teams compared to earlier. We haven't lost a team from the first 5 minutes of the game, but now we might be seeing a few saying goodbye a little bit more. But we'll see as to where the rotation will bring them, especially as we go into the second phase of the circle.
Yeah, the M590, it's got such a short range, such a devastating blow. I guess we can officially say goodbye to that Trogon from C stage already. Saming on standby, waiting for a quick pop, but I guess he's going to be a little unlucky. Nobody's going to drop by to say hello to him just yet. Where are the sniper shots, Snap?
I don't know. I'm the only guy that I saw a sniper and I'm not expecting was Wasana. And
Ooh, there you go, Mochi.
You ask, you shall receive, AJ.
Amen. Adam down on the ground. Zyru, a sliver of health. June hasn't found him just yet. Wamos cooking right now. Onyx Olympus. Zyru can't get away. 24 HP. Man has got no mad kit. And Wings, the final one. Is he going to get clipped? Yes, he will. Vamos cooking. And Onyx Olympus sacrificed.
Sacrificed indeed. Now down to 10 and heavy right now. We'll be battling against Buriram United. Now it's a 3-player play right here, but Get Nice has been brought back. Flag has been taken down, and Wasana is still on the roll. Hands has been brought to his knees, and Get High is the guy who does that. Now 2 more players, but that revive might save them, especially as Get Nice is getting away and being so nice to avoid this fight.
Yeah, this man now wants a shotgun for himself. Everybody's got one, except him. When you want a shotgun, the game gives you an assault rifle. You know you're not going to be happy with that. So off you go. GOW though, off they went. Out in 12th.
That's one thing. I mean, you don't want to go out early, but I guess they've done so well already from the first match. They still have chance to recover later on. Now, let's see as to how everyone else will be rotating and positioning themselves as export the snipers. Again, you ask once again, they are showing up. This is a VSK that he is wearing right now. Riptide plus the shot, but it is Evo's Divine receiving all those damage.
Beautifully played by both WAG and EVOS Divine. Riptide Rhythm just not doing it at that point of time. Could have been a game changer if the connection was perfect. Krillin will bring Allen right back. And EVOS Divine actually getting high ground for themselves so that they can play a little bit of counter-attack on WAG. In trouble these boys are. Here comes EVOS Divine.
EVOS Divine, Ray for the flank, and Cyrus almost taking Ray down. Now up close and personal, no backup that we can see in the background. The rest of the team are running into the blue. Nice play for WAG though. They can save Cyrus, but they're also receiving a lot of damage from those afar.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate here. Here comes the attempt for revival, but aim god from afar. Does him in export. Does manage to hit that. Brings his team member right back in, but ABAX is there to shut him down. WAG needs to run with their tails tucked between their legs. EVOS Divine conquers the compound here at Shrines.
Good anticipation for EVOS Divine. They know they eliminated one of the players and the target will be that vending machine. And they just waited for that from that area. And even if they get away, they are out in open that can be sniped. But PE Sports, LBT fell to the ground and damaged by Luffy, Nero trying to dance around and recovering on that fall. But Lahao and Don't Cry, they will need to give them a little bit cover. But LBT was given a chance to be picked up. So will this work for them? The 2-2 split for PE Sports.
This is a big risk here. We've seen this happen before, Neptune, and usually it doesn't end well. Where it used to work was many seasons ago. In fact, many years ago. That sort of a split has not done many teams well in the recent times. So we'll see how they work that one out. Twisted Minds! Spotted out! LBT! What a play on the electrotherapy! A lifesaver for LBT! But they've got the numbers! And Diamond and Exposy quickly eliminate Nero and LBT.
And you don't want to go against Twisted Mind, even if you're wearing carry, because they have, if not perfected, close to perfection in using that electrotherapy. And they know how to counter it as well from what we've seen. So let's see if they can recover, if PE Sports can recover. But with all those gunshots, Team Vamos will have their sights on Twisted Mind. Now,
and it was too early, bro.
Yeah.
It was too early in terms of the engagement, and the electrotherapy was popped. Because when the numbers came out, then there was no backup, right? So a little unfortunate. I think the engagement was, a tad bit off. They were not expecting anybody up at top, which is why you gotta use your binoculars. And it's moments like these where you need that information.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that has not changed. You can use multiple Arvan, and you can use that. We haven't taken that away from the teams just yet. Just yet.
Yeah. Now that you've said it, watch out. But yeah, man, I mean, binoculars, scan it out. Just make sure you're moving into a compound for sure it's not occupied by somebody else. I think rookie mistake. And if they knew the guy was there already, then obviously them moving into such an open spot without any glue walls being used, they were asking for it. Then the electrotherapy just couldn't save their lives. Unfortunate that those players kind of got wiped out, but the team still stays in here. Buriram, high ground. Heavy being spotted out, but great defensive play by the Vietnamese squad just to block the line of sights.
Yeah, and they are also gatekeeping Heavy at this point, because in a bit that blue will be closing in. Now Expand right now, they've seen Drian down on the ground and going for the pickup, but they are still stuck in this compound and unable to recover. It's EVOS Divine. The aggressiveness is just showing, and even if they have good cover, they will be taken down because of the skills that has been thrown on them. And EVOS Divine, 11 elimination, almost taking Expand out.
Kyung will find one with the Mag 7. Oh, Expand, you better watch out. Aim God, good grenade. Oh, what a good glue wall! Bounces it off. Expand, not taken out just yet. AVAX could not find that shot in the nick of time with the M590. Tries to respond, does find one, cans. And Alphic both expanded at the same time. And EVOS Divine just wrecking havoc with the M90 shotgun. My goodness me, the armor penetration just doing everybody in Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. It is just a good close range weapon to use. Spies right now unable to fire back and also receiving a lot of damage from the blue. This might be it. BTR being taken by WAG, but X4 is also in trouble. He will be taken by the blue. He needs to recover or buy back teammate. Now, will this work? 1 second, and it does help him.
He was 1 second away from being annihilated. X-Bar, the man. Pocket Market coming in handy there. Now, he's fully recovered already. Will be able to withstand this for a little bit longer. But what a chaotic second game here. Now, Toda, the Malaysians, is trying to stay silent as they rotate right behind Buriram. Buriram with that high ground advantage. Thankfully for Toda, they're actually keeping their eyes on PE Sports. Toda just needs to make this one wrong move because they're a little bit too close for comfort now. And Buriram knows they are there.
Yeah, they have been spotted. And not only that, a lot of teams will be struggling or will be chasing that position, especially from what we are seeing from PE Sports and Heavy stacked on top of each other in this map. Now, PE Sports on high ground, similar to Buriram United. And as you mentioned, they are being spotted. The focus by Buriram United is on PE Sports. And they're just like, they won't be focusing on anything else. Priority is those closest to them and has good vantage point against them.
Absolutely. Let's see if or not PE Sports is going to be able to survive this one. Looks like Wasana says not for long. Lao hold down as well. Get high, finds narrow. And one more player called LBD hanging on for PE Sports. What a beautiful spray down from long range from Team Buriram. Focusing on to Zuez from Vamos as well. Buriram just non-stop. And Twisted Minds from the back as well. The Malaysian team better watch out.
I can see the look in the face of Moshi. He is the top sniper for the team, but he is being beat on the snipes by the rest of the players. But as you can see, Todak right now spotted. And Traps almost can now manage to be saved by that glue wall.
Oh, good grenade now. But it is just a glue wall melter that's been laid out. Buriram in this hot fight up against Toda. Faiz is staying out of the thick of the action. Jonah waiting on that flank. And it's the M82B in the hands of Jojo. Get high though! Could not do much with the M590. Wasana stepping back. Moshi a sliver of hell. Then Jonah turns it around with his own shotgun. Get nice interfering. Heavy stepping on in and stealing away bodies.
And there goes a Todak. Only one remains, and here comes Heavy clearing up the area. And this is what we're talking about. They have waited for so long to get those eliminations. Now they are farming them. The question is, who will be the next target? Vamos, Twisted Mind will be in front of them, as well as Evo's Mind.
Oh, turning around, X-Ball, very low on HP. Mufasa needed one more bullet, but the blue finishes him off. And now Heavy rotating around. Next one in line is actually Vamos, and Vamos trying to hide on away. What a beautiful ambush by Heavy. Buriram stood no chance in the previous engagement, but now up against Vamos, they need to wait for this perfect timing. 1 second too early, Twisted Minds can turn around and finish both of them off.
Let's see, Heavy is just waiting. They've lost one player, and they are in position a little bit close as well into the middle. But there goes a takedown made from Evos.
What? What? That's it, Neptune. Distant Minds toasted. My goodness me, what are we watching? And now here comes the barrage of nades from both Heavy and Vamos. Now they're looking for the Indonesians right behind this little hill. Will Evos Divine wait for that perfect timing off of that blue, or will they take this risk? Heavy has this vantage point advantage up against them.
Yeah, Heavy has a good high ground, but they will be pushed out in a bit. Evos has a closer weight, the closer distance in the middle, and they have that ridge to cover them. So Vamos and Heavy might fight on against each other, and then Evo's Divine will be capitalizing on that, just farming from all those damage.
Just chilling, waiting for that opportune moment. Now we just at circle 6 out of 8, so you know we got a little bit of time. Now the problem is, you look at the position that Heavy and Vamos are holding on to. I think they're gonna have to move before Evos Divine. The blessing here for Evos Divine is they could just actually wait this out. Wait for Heavy and Vamos to do each other in first. Because look at this, they are pretty much towards the center of this next circle.
Yeah, I mean everyone else will be jumping in. Even if Evo's Divine back down on the bottom of that ridge, they can still target anyone who will be coming up on that area. So let's see on how it will end. 20 seconds remaining before everyone will be flushed out, or everyone from Heavy and Vamos will be flushed out.
Well, it's a waiting game now. 12 more seconds. We don't need to guess how long it's gonna take. It's just there you go. You hear the sirens. Here's action time, baby. Heavy's already started moving. They don't want to get pressured by the blue. They're just waiting for that opportune moment. And now that's going to put a little bit of pressure onto Evo's Divine, and Heavy being the first ones to get into engagement with the Indonesian squad means Vamos, the Malaysian team, have the advantage now, Nev.
Yeah, if Heavy will be taken down, or a few players from Evos will be damaged as well, and Vamos can just swoop right in, and they're not being spotted. The focus is just on Heavy,
wow.
And there goes the nades as well as a shot. Heavy right now in trouble. Vamos is hitting on them as well, so it's just Heavy receiving a lot, and they will be the first ones to go down.
Oh, okay. Vamos now actually stealing off a couple of eliminations off of Evo's Divine here. So that's a very sneaky and well-played maneuver from the Malaysian team. AVAX, shotgun in hand, and 590 time, baby. Everybody spamming this shotgun for a good reason. Jun not showing up just yet. AVAX, armor penetration king, this shotgun is. But the engagement's not coming through just yet. Here comes the monster truck, but does the monster truck have enough space to pick up speed?
See if that can even move. And there we have it, clearing the area. Vamos is just steamrolling on them. Although Apex is still alive though, and still in a row to clear out with that shotgun. Taking a little bit of inhaler action to top off, but Ray will be the first one to go down.
Yeah, okay, Suez is still here though. Goes for the shutdown. Apex and Aim God. Luffy still on the ground. Meets him 1v1 and Luffy takes the shot. What a play with the Drogon. Drogon's not dead just yet. And Luffy and Suez get the booyah for Team Vamos.
And who says that Trogon is out of picture? Trogon is still in. Team Vamos has used that, and even the smart move before that happened against Heavy. They grab a few more points, but looking at how it ended for Evos, they had 17 elimination.
Yeah.
And that's a lot already coming from a team that we didn't see so much in Kalahari.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a critical hit. They gave them for sure. Vamos standing tall by the end of it. Evo's Divine played that so well defensively, but it was the big brain play, just using the monster truck, enough space to run down a path of glue walls, which ended up getting Vamos the very first elimination. Rasiak just could not do much from the back end, and this was an unfortunate end for the guy because he gets knocked down. No more sniper backup. Evo's Divine has to take these 1v1s, but the maze of glue walls erected once again by both teams caused so much of chaos.
And that's one thing. I mean, it's a good thing it's well placed in the middle of the final circle. If that will be like skewed to the edge, then a lot will be falling down to the blue. But still, it's Vamos showing that they are not out just yet. They started off hot from the Purgatory map. Now Kalahari still on fire. Now I love how it's showing for the Malaysian team. I want to see more.
I mean, you've got more bullets on the Drogon, but rate of fire-wise, M90, damage-wise, M90, reload speed-wise, M90, armor penetration, M90, bro. But Team Vamos still got the job done because at the end of the day, the right weapon was necessary. And yes, the M90 packs a punch. But dude, you actually got to aim well with that shotgun. A little bit off, and then that's about it, right? You miss your opportunity. The Drogon, on the other hand, you've got a little bit of margin for error there. It's a pump shotgun. You are going to get a couple of extra shots out of it. And it was just the winning blow there for Vamos. First time around, they got knocked out a little bit too early. We saw the aggression. We wanted the consistency. It was disappointing. But game 2, very impressive.
Yeah, I'd like to see how they ended up on the leaderboard after that run, because the Booyah really brings in a lot already. But we've seen earlier that they are aiming for a lot of elimination. There's they're mixing it up with a passive and aggressive approach. So aggressiveness is really shown for Team Vamos. Not just Team Vamos, Malaysian teams, Todak Expand is going for that route as well. It's just that a lot of teams are also targeting Todak earlier from what we've seen in the refinery. It is Buriram who saw them even against PE Sports, who's fighting that ledge. And when they dropped in, it was Todak who went down first.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And of course, I'm liking this. I'm liking this, right? If the Malaysians can actually put up a good fight up against the Vietnamese as well as Indonesian teams, as well as the Thai teams, I think we're going to have quite a good tournament here. Let's take a look at the highlights before we continue on with the rest of the storylines. I mean, we all know Vietnam has been making so much of noise. And, you know, the disappointing part was Malaysia just wasn't up to par in the last few seasons. This time around, a little bit of a shakeup has happened within the region, and I think it's done them so much of good, Nep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of good in this game, and I mean, there's some things that can be changed after this preseason that might help them in the regular season that we have for FFWS. So let's see if this is something that they can adjust. For now, I mean, that's one of the key as well for the other teams, like what we've seen. Twisted Mind, Buddha United, they were called from the beginning, and then they gathered a lot of points from this second game. And I guess this is just how they want to roll. They don't want to show all their cards just yet in the early parts.
Let's see how much they end up showing just by the end of today, right? Because 2 games in, and I think we've seen quite a lot already, Neptune. You know, and some of what we are seeing here is massive. I mean, you look at this, right? Evos Divine getting 19 kills. And remember, there is one part of this competition where the elimination points are going to be doubled.
Yeah.
Right? Now, imagine Evos Divine in that game gets 19 eliminations. You double that, you are at 38 points. That's going to be game-changing. But of course, you know, this guy was game-changing as well. Jun from Team Vamos, your MVP. 6 assists, 6 eliminations, 2,644 on the damage. Phenomenal showing.
And for the characters, he is wearing the Tatsuya that hasn't died just yet, but not multiplied. We have the Joseph and Nairi, as well as a Ford and Woodpecker, as well as that Arvad. So this combination of Vamos is working quite well. I'm quite impressed and want to see more on how June and the rest of Vamos is going to dominate this part of the game. But it's still early, I would say, early to sell, despite of us only a second game. There's a lot of changes that might be happening later on, but as we look at the team stats, we can see the difference of characters, but there's not so much of new characters on active scale. It's just the usual that we've seen from the previous tournament.
Yeah, you do see some shake-up here from the passive skills coming through with the Nikita as well as the Tiva play. Zuez was the tank this time around for the team. He was pretty useful in quite a number of these engagements, right? But you have to love the flair that you see out of Jun and Axel. The confidence in stepping to the front lines, taking this action straight to the opponent's battlefield and walking away with those points. Very, very impressive. And you know, usually, and we've seen these boys in the past, usually the biggest fault of a team like this is they are very aggressive and they don't really think much, right? They just hopping on in there, hot-headed. They won some battles, they won some points. But I think it was very beautiful to watch Malaysia hold back and allow others to do the talking first before hopping on into that battle. That was truly instrumental for them taking this victory on game number 2.
I'm pretty sure they watch a lot of VODs. They found out their mistakes, and this is the result. Like them getting the booyah as well as 16 on elimination. Very close in elimination-wise, but they took that lead in the placement. Thus, they are tied in the total points. But United, though, it's quite working for them. 11 elimination, but not so much in the placement.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, Buriram, obviously, like you said, they have what it takes. And this time around, placement points is actually worse, but at least we see some eliminations coming on through there, right? Toda kind of pretty average in terms of what they've done in the previous game, as well as now out of points. Expand really clocking out early. So, yeah, you know, normal Malaysian inconsistencies coming on through. But if Wamos is going to be that leading light for the Malaysian front, I think they're doing pretty well. We haven't seen Vietnam make a lot of noise, but maybe when we head on into Alpine later on, we can see them come alive. Up next, though, is our OG map, Bermuda.
Yeah, now let's see if that will slow the teams down, that's as we expect every time we jump into Bermuda. But as we look at our standings, Evo's Divine on number 1, no booyahs from them, but they did have a lot of elimination, thus taking 39 points. Vamos and Bigatron, first 2 teams, they got that booyah, and they are making it work. Same story as Evo's Divine, GOW. Not so much of a placement, but in terms of elimination, that's where they are working at.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, so much has been seen thus far today. And I think one of the things that sticks out like a sore thumb is the fact that Trogon is going to be sorely missed, but it's not going to make, 0 appearances, right? Once in a while, if you don't find the right shotgun, you gotta still pick up that Trogon. It comes in handy. Clearly, it came in very handy, Nep.
Yeah, you can find the best. Go for the second best.
Yes, go for the second best.
Or
Trogon's feelings just got hurt when it called it the second best,
We'll have to see. We'll have to see if that will stick. But in a bit, we're going to go in for the next match. Before we go in, we are going to stick for a break. So don't go away. We'll be back for more preseason VR battle. This is Free Fire World Series preseason. See you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Free Fire World Series 2025 Southeast Asia Preseason Battle Royale. Knockout stage, day number 1 has started with 2 maps already, Purgatory and Kalahari, and it is hot. Now we are off to a few more maps on this day, and still on Caster says, I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia. Together with me is the one and only Mustachio AJ.
Of these matches out there on the battlefield right now. We've got EVOS Divine, we've got Team Vamos, Indonesia, Malaysia. They've already climbed up already, but those are not the only teams up there. Question is, how come we are not seeing much of the Thai flag just yet, man?
I mean, they're just slowing down. We know that they are capable. We know that they can do it. They just want to watch everyone else do it first. And then that's how they are. They just want to break their dreams. Especially now that they're building it. Sorry, no offense though.
they know once they start, you know, they're not going to give out no chances. So go grab yours first. We'll come up a little bit later. But of course, Malaysia, Indonesia making a lot of noise. It was Bigatron Delta in game number 1, not at Bermuda. That was at Purgatory, because now we've actually got random maps running every single day. Today's randomizer brought Purgatory in as game 1, Kalahari game 2, where Vamos from Malaysia grabbed the booyah. Now we step into Bermuda, the OG Bermuda, on game number 3, followed by Alpine and Nextera, before we bring out Mr. Randomizer again to determine game number 6.
Now, you were asking about Thai teams, and this might be where they will be popping off. We've seen from a previous tournament that Bermuda is one of the favorites, especially for Bordeaux United, especially Alpine. That is one of their best maps. So them back to back, that they might be able to recover that quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've kind of seen a little bit about how the active skills is kind of affecting the gameplay of some of these teams, right? Those that are usually very, very aggressive have kind of toned it down a little bit. Of course, you don't see a lot of difference in the Indonesian playstyle because they've not really changed it. You know, even back in the World Series, they were one of those few who were not going in for that all-out character spam in terms of active skills. But of course, game number 3, let's see what Bermuda brings us.
Free Fire fans, we are brought back home to our OG map, but this is not the usual OG map. As you can see, this is a remastered Bermuda map that we are playing on, coming from Sentosa towards Graveyard. That is a flight path that we have, and we are seeing a few of the teams already spreading out, and this is a reason as well why there is no engagement in the early parts of Bermuda, because they know quite well where the teams will be positioned.
So for those who are not really well versed with this remastered map, there's something very different, isn't there? I wonder if it's the same.
It's pretty much the same. They just replaced the water with desert, I believe. So, I mean, it's not that green anymore. That's why they didn't start with that, with the usual green grass of Bermuda.
The green, that's the brown. Well, it's summer in Bermuda, so you know I'm liking this. I'm liking the water's all dried up already. You know, you don't get no water circle at this point of time, so that's going to be a little bit appeasing. LBT, Suez, usually they will be by the side of the cliff, staring out to water. Now it's just a desert. I don't know if or not this is going to make these boys a little bit depressed that they can't run around and hope and pray nobody swims after them, or they're going to be excited that they don't need to be swimming in the first place.
Yeah, they can just run through. They can just run through that. But they will be out in the open. But let's see if that is something that would change the pace of the game, because from what we've seen, we were expecting a little bit of slowdown, but there goes a takedown on Lao Ho from PE Sports by Todak. Now let's see if Todak can still carry on the aggressiveness that they've shown earlier. They had 12 elimination, but only 5 in placement. So they need to slow down in rushing against the enemy and probably think of position-wise before they do so.
Lao Ho was unfortunately a little too slow to get away from that heated situation. Demon! You can see the time turner being pulled out there prematurely by Videls. Wonder if that's going to affect him. Yeah! Oh my god, what a headshot! Hits the 180, gets the shot, and gets away as well as Tan tries to interfere. My god! Hodas Videls! That was some beauty!
And that's with a M4A1, if I'm not mistaken. That is seldomly seen in this battle. Now, going in to a different team, Heavy and Koja, FGL. And, well, Mufasa is not really caring because that's just one player and the rest of the teams can just rush in against Koja, who's in trouble because he doesn't look like he has any meds on him.
Yeah, very well played by Koja here. Getting that revival instantaneously as he spots the vending machine. But of course, Team Heavy will get that elimination. But his squad will remain alive because of his efforts. 4 points already for Vietnamese Team Heavy.
Let's see, where will they be flying in as they go into this battle? But GOW... The battle continues between GOW and Todak. They have a little bit of distance between them, but the takedown is not stopping them, or it's not stopping for going for the takedown. Videls, a little up close and personal, trying to sneak in, and Traps managed to take down Demon.
Just a no. Oh, there you go. And the end will be able to bring him right back. Toda going in for the push. Traps and Vice. Question is, do they get the connection? Yes, they do, Videls. Tad bit too far ahead. Those blue walls deployed by the rest of his team members could not get him the cover he needed. And then overextended Videls pays the high price, and he will be expanded. Fires down as well by a beautiful lob of that grenade. Yanbin, the damage dealer. But Jojo will bring both of his brothers back, and Toda gets that reset.
Yeah, Jojo, I was waiting for Jojo to make a surprise hit from behind, but I guess he was just focused on looting up, and Traps will be taken down once again. Now, on the other side, it is Vamos going against Heavy, and Vamos might be the ones going down a little bit early.
So let's see if or not Vamos can get out of this sticky situation, because one player can play that distraction. Axel trying to get away first. Get nice though. Brings in those revivals. Axel's hoping and praying he can do that for the rest of his buddies as well. And Heavy going in for the chase. Mufasa hasn't spotted him just yet. He's got that electrotherapy. And going in for that rush lag. Very low on that HP. And he will pay the high price. Axel, PSS turns around, gets that shot. Mufasa, AC80. Does not go in for the follow-up. Can he get it? Axel, the sharpshooter of Vamos. Opportunity outside the circle, and Mufasa still biding his time. Riptide Rhythm goes wide, and Axel straight down.
Took a while before Axel has been taken down, but effort-wise, Mufasa managed to get that point. Speaking of point, 1 point goes to PE Sports as well. As we look at this area in Clock Tower, it has been left by Todak, and the next one knocking on their doors will be WAG. So team coming from the same region fighting against each other. But if we look in Thailand teams, slow down. This happened for Twisted Mind. I guess they're focusing more on placement this time around.
Axel just not having the right gun at that point of time, and it's kind of done in by the difference in elevation. Although he did have the advantage for the headshot, just couldn't seem to find it in such a tense situation. Now GOW being sprayed upon. My God, X-Ball. AWM straight to Deanne in his back, snapping his spine in half, and they will claim his life. Twisted Minds finding Expand as well.
I'm quite surprised with some of the teams right here. It seems like they are just charged up. Like I think was it heavy earlier or GOW? They got 12 eliminations already, or 12 or 7 eliminations already. A little bit too early into this game. But Twisted Mind missed that opportunity against Expand right now, and that Natsuya Rush will be making Faiz get away.
See if or not Nameless will allow him. The answer was no instantaneously. Jun up top. Saming! Riptide Rhythm breaks down his defense, but Jun just sidesteps it, pulls out yet another glue wall just outside the radius of the Riptide Rhythm. It's a pretty genius counter.
Good counter indeed, and Twisted Mind will be left with only 2. Jun right now being focused by 3 players. Will the dance work for him? Nameless almost being taken down, and Jun will be taken out of this game. But Vamos is still alive. West from a distance is in, or probably might be in trouble, because Heavy is very close to him.
Well, let's see if EVOS Divine can kind of cut this distance between themselves as well as Vamos as well, because they spotted them out here already. But they just don't have a direct access point. If they rush straight in, they leave themselves open like sitting ducks on a hill. But as they try to rotate around, they might just come across Team Buriram United Esports. That's not going to be fun at all.
Yeah, no fun indeed. Let's see if that will happen as we look at the rest of the teams right now. BTR, they have lost Koja and still struggling to revive him, but they managed to get into next phase of the circle in Bullseye. And let's find out if those surrounding them will spot them, especially with an open area if they get away from this compound.
Let's see if not all 4 of these players who have been revived already will be able to find their rhythm back in here, because they are low on cash, low on loot as well, Neptune. So for example, they just barely have like level 1, level 2 on the vest and helmet. So getting into a gunfight is going to be very detrimental for Team Megatron now.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, if you get revived, and we keep talking about this, that aggressiveness coming from some teams will be costing them that much. Now that we're in the second phase, going to the third, and only a few compounds in some parts of this area, there will be minimal loot that they can take. So let's see if the war chest will help them, similar to what we're seeing from Twisted Mind, but everyone is silent. What we expect from Bermuda is happening right now.
Yeah, you gotta... Oh, no! Oh, I thought it was gonna be all peaceful. But look at that chaos. Look at that chaos that is about to explode on all of us, Neptune. This is just too much. This is savagery right there. There's not enough space in this next circle for all of these players.
Yeah, it's still early into the game, and we've seen a very small circle on that map. So third going to the fourth in 13 seconds. They need to start now, and Evo's Divine starting it against Buriram United. Moshi almost taking down half on HP right here, but was able to recover. The only question is, will they fly in and take them down, or will Buriram United avoid this gunfight overall? Because once that blue closes in, everyone will get good positions.
I just want to see what weapons these boys are using. Obviously, everybody's going to be running the shotgun. 592 is very popular. Sana, opportunity, good blue wall. Barricades himself in, protects himself from all of the outside interference. Now this compound belonging to the boys of Buriram. Diamond right behind him though. And here comes the ambush. The backstab. Nameless finds one. Get high. Spring down to the ground. Instantly eliminated. Jonah outside the house. Manages to get away in the nick of time. But Wasana wasn't able to get away from his opponents just yet. Jonah with the grenade launcher. Trying to find the connection. Moshi with the shotgun. And he pulls out the snipe. The connection just not there. Exposy sprays him down. Shotgunned to hell. Buriram eliminated.
Buriram United was trying to push them, flush them out, but fortunately, they are the ones being taken down. Team Vamos June was also being taken down right here, and when I thought that Burning United will be popping off this time, Twisted Mind says no. We want to get more of those eliminations.
Yeah, M519, bro. I mean, that shotgun's just no mercy in a close-range fight like that. Twisted Minds knew exactly what was happening. They were waiting to be ambushed by someone, and they baited in Buriram. Buriram stepped into their house. They got confused. These boys just ran up, jumped down, attacked from the back, and Buriram just never saw that sort of a counter-attack coming on through. Beautiful stuff from Twisted Minds. 10 elimination strong, and they just pulled it off yet again.
And they pulled it off against Vamos. Now, let's see who else will be knocking the door off a Twisted Mind. Looks like GOW with the next target in this fight. Diamond already has his sights on him, not giving him any chance to get away from that hay.
Diamond, very aggressive. Oh, here comes Evo's Divine from the back as well. Okay, now Twisted Minds, very smart maneuver. They just quickly back away from this fight. They don't want to take it up against Evo's Divine and GOW at the same time. But Diamond now, though, very cheekily stepping on forward. Expand eliminated early again. That's not good for the business at all.
Let's see if they can do a little bit of different business wherein they can invest more in all those points. Todak, a little bit too close for comfort, and they will be going down by ease. But we thought that Drogon is out. They are still in a good use from Twisted Mind.
Yeah, man. I mean, the triple shot back to back. You just gotta love it. And all the boys down on the ground. Twisted Minds, the recovery though, absolutely phenomenal. Riptide Rhythm from afar. Toda taking advantage of that. But Twisted Minds says no. Traps gets eliminated instantaneously. Saming now going in for the pickup. Diamond can still be saved, but Nameless will expire as Evo's Divine gets a little bit of revenge.
Oh, Evo's Divine. The sneaky team who jumped in, managed to push away Twisted Mind. The moment that they step in, they're the ones eliminating this team. Now let's see who will be next into battle to be taken out. Evo's Divine, 7 eliminations already, but they need to recover now. The blue will be closing in 20 seconds, and there's not so much of cover once they step out. BTR, PE Sports, as well as Heavy will be waiting for them.
Yeah, Russia. M82B out in the open. Oh my god, the guy gets sprayed down with a woodpecker instead. Unfortunate. Kiba now on the ground. Fight steals that away. Bigatron Delta, extra point in the pocket. Onyx Olympus abandoning all of that chaos, only to put themselves in the shooting pit. And what do you get in the shooting pit? Lots and lots of bullets from multiple teams. Wings get slipped. Adam with a sliver of health gets burnt down. FGL straight to Zyru's heart. Onyx Olympus, how long more can they stand? Not long, apparently.
Yeah, well, a valiant effort to try and rescue Adam with a healing gun, but Zyru will just need to survive. Not so much of cover for him to get away, and focus is hard on him. Heavy right now, jumping in, probably try to cut the approach of Onyx Olympus onto the next circle, but this is a BTR spot. They already stepped in, and only a fence, a wall between them.
Yeah, will it be done by Bigatron Delta? Maybe 2 booyahs on the opening day here on this 2025 Southeast Asian Spring Pre-Season. Bigatron Delta, slow rotation around the outside wall. Brilliant play thus far. Hasn't spotted anyone just yet. They know Heavy is just behind this wall. They're going in with those blue wall melters first, not getting too aggressive and putting themselves in harm's way now.
Now, speaking of harm's way, we have PE Sports and WAG, who might be in harm's way because they're very close in each other. PE Sports out in the open that might be able to rotate, but WAG with a hit from zero, and main launcher does it for them and clean up for PE Sports.
That was dirty, bro. That was dirty. Okay, that was grenade launcher up close and personal. These boys stood no chance. PE Sports nasty with that play. Koja AC80. What a tight squeeze! Koja! but could not take advantage. That AC-80 not meaning no heads. Glue wall melters laid out just before those glue walls got erected. Now that's going to do a number on the defenses set by PE Sports. But they're out of the way already. And Don't Cry left a present before getting away. Brilliant play by Vietnam to slow down the pursuers, Bigatron.
That's what you get when you get too close to PE Sports. 3 teams remain. BTR 6 elimination. Managed to push away everyone else, but didn't get so much of points. Now, Heavy will just be waiting in there. They are the ones in the lead in terms of... Oh, but don't peek out!
Oh my lord, what a shot by Kiba! Think later, shoot first. This man, instant on that reflex. Now PE Sports quickly backing away. That pickup was instant as well. Heavy watching this breakdown. 2 Vietnamese squad, 1 from Indonesia. Bigatron, Delta, can they survive the onslaught from Heavy, who's following them from downstairs into this compound, as well as PE, who's right above, waiting to take the fight to them.
I love how they're playing right now. BTR was on edge of the circle. Now they head into the middle. They've spotted PE Sports above, and this is a good spot for them to surprise anyone jumping out. But Heavy and PE Sports, it's only LBT who's guarding the gates right now. Now here comes Nero, and that grenade launcher that he has, if I'm not mistaken, might be troublesome for Team Heavy.
Nero, PE Sports is in the best position within this compound right now. Heavy and Bigatron Delta will have to move. Nobody's going to go upstairs just yet, but PE is split up in a 2-2 formation, so this could be their biggest weakness. If Heavy finds 2 players first, if the numbers get thin too early, PE Sports will not walk away with the booyah. If they play this right, it will be down to the circle and medkit snap.
Yeah, definitely. It is now the time where we count out who will be taken from this game. Heavy struggling to get in, cannot afford to go in for that window, and Heavy just blocked that so that no one will be getting out. But I don't think that is a smart choice because they won't be able to get in as well.
Okay, beautifully entered here by Heavy. But PE Sports is on standby. Don't Cry has been spotted out already. Mufasa tagged up from the back. 90 HP. Gets away. A1-4 does tag them up. But they've got the nutty movement from Joseph. They've got that silver spoon. They are not going to be affected by the slow at all. Lag though. Lagging back. And he's low on that HP as well. But the medkits are working until he gets knocked down by the blue of all things.
Heavy had a tough position right there. They were outside and Blue's closing in, and every corner is covered already by BTR or PE Sport. But BTR, the one ground right now. Koja has been taken out. Faiz is the next to go down, and PE Sports just jumped out, fighting and waiting for them. And PE Sports from Vietnam will get this booyah.
Vietnam, well played. PE, they were in the best position to play that final circle. Final moments, though, brought them outside the mansion. But, of course, enough of that chaos had already been felt by their opponents. Final few shots to bring the victory to their side was not tough at all. Well played, well executed, well planned, as a matter of fact, from the very start of the game net.
Yeah, probably they've seen it from GOW. They saw how it worked, though GOW didn't get that booyah, but they did find good points from there. And PE Sports just did the same thing. BTR on the bottom, position-wise, how quick they can move from one place to the other, from the edge to the center. That just will be their strength in this fight. The only question is, have they brought in so much in terms of points to maintain their placement in leaderboard?
Well, looks like it's either a day where I'm asking the right questions or the teams are answering them really, really quick. Earlier, we had a few questions answered instantly. We also asked West Vietnam before the break. PE says, here we are.
Hello. I mean, PE Sports is the team that really started off the rise of Vietnam from them stepping into EWC, and then afterwards the motivation is just through the roof in terms of how Vietnam is playing, when we look at GOW and we look at WAG, there's just so much promise, and it's not been broken up until this moment. But PE Sports are the one who started off, and starting the day with one booyah is good for them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it was a brilliant play overall, PE Sports. I mean, they have been phenomenal. They have motivated their region. They have shown their region what can be done on the global stage. Many teams have picked up the shotguns, I have to say, and followed their lead. But they kind of faltered right after. They are back to prove themselves, and they are in a good spot right now. But of course, my bigger question is also going to be, now where is Thailand?
Still the same question, still unanswered. I mean, we've seen
They'll
them.
answer it.
They tried. But again, this is just day number one. We're looking at two teams, Grim United, as well as Twisted Mind, a team that is aggressive, who might be able to bring in a lot in terms of elimination points, but man. Not for now.
I can't disagree with you. It's but meh at this point of time. Buriram has only gotten 11 eliminations and 9 placement points. This is unlike the usual Buriram. They've got a total of 20 points after 3 games. But I wouldn't count them out just yet. They're capable of hitting 40 points in one game and jumping right back up to the top of the leaderboard. We are only halfway through the day. That was only map number. I know it feels like we just started the day because it has just been that awesome and we just concluded Bermuda. But halfway through the day already, and some of these teams have been picking up a little bit of pace. Some of the others have been lagging behind. But with the way these points are collected, man, it's just going to take one game to make the biggest of difference. We're going to take a look at the highlights of that match as to what actually went down on Bermuda.
While the highlights is rolling, I just thought of this, and we were talking about the Brim United. What if Brim United is just waiting for that game number 6, a chance to get double elimination, just to show that they can do it in one game?
No. No. I don't believe any of this. Let's see if that's going to happen, man. Of course, we had, Expand kind of like flying around earlier on, and it didn't end well for them at all because they got caught out way too early. Many teams kind of like bumping into them, and Expand just didn't really stand a chance this time.
Yeah, I mean, it was just troublesome for them. They trying to find good weaponry after a few revives from their side, but not so much of cover for them. Now, speaking of cover, this is where PE Sports just utilize the cover that they have. They know, like the BTR knows and Heavy knows that they are on second floor, but similar to what we've seen earlier, they just waited it out. Similar from what we've seen from Vamos, they waited it out. They know when to jump out and just clear the area. And for our MVP, we have Aniro with 3 eliminations, 2,782 on the damage, 6 on the assist. And this guy, not so much on elimination, I would say, but has brought in so much in this game. Most of the time, he's the one soloing, surviving this fight, and then bringing the rest of PE Sports. Now he's showing up with that MVP.
I mean, dude, I don't know what's going to happen because you just pointed out something so integral, right? If one of these teams that are kind of lagging behind, activates Monster Beast mode on game 6 and they go for those doubles, it's just going to take one game, man. And it could just be Buriram. But it could also be one of these teams that are already dominating. And they could put such a phenomenal distance between themselves as well as the other teams. Nero with the 3 eliminations. For a fact this is not the best from the guy. But the fact of the matter is PE Sports is still trying to find their rhythm out there. And I think they have finally found it.
Yeah, let's see what else can they do with that rhythm that they have. And you did mention about something about elimination. I was just looking at the numbers for the past 3 games. So we have the top from 3 matches. Purgatory, we have 17 from GOW. We have 16 from Vamos. And That is 14, if I'm mistaken, for heavy. That is the highest elimination that we have for one game. Now, excuse me, 19 from Evos. I missed that. 19 from Evos from that Kalahari map. And that is a potential, like almost 20, 40 points plus the placement. If they get a booyah, then they will get 50 points overall. And how much point does Boreo United need to get on top of everyone else? Just 31 points.
Just 30. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. What this double points thing can do is just shift the face of the whole day within that one game. Now, there's just so much banking on that final game. So, obviously, we are very excited to get there. We will get there. 12 placement points, 11 eliminations. Keeps Esports on that number one spot. Heavy, with a heavy elimination game this time around. 8 points, though, in the third place they take. But they jump up to second because of those eliminations with a total of 22 points. Down at the bottom, Burinam still struggling. Expand still struggling. Vamos! Joining down at the bottom there. That's a little surprising, but at the same time, kind of expected.
Yeah, I mean, history repeats itself, but I want to see more from Vamos because of the promise that they brought in earlier. But like decision-wise, on the final moment is, I would say, different compared to when they fell in the early parts of this game. So let's see if that would be different overall. But game number 3 gives us Evo's Divine still on that number one spot. No booyahs just yet, but 51 on the points, followed by BTR, Vamos, and PE Sports. It has 45, 40, and 38 respectively, and they are the 3 teams that got the booyah.
And I want everybody to look at this table right now and just assume that EVOS has already reached 80 points right now. And this is, if they have reached 80 points at this point of time, they just need a booyah and they are going to become champion if this was that grand finals day, right? But here's the crazy thing. If EVOS actually goes through the whole day without a single booyah, they cannot be crowned the champion. How crazy is that? How much more important now that booyah has become? I absolutely love how this has turned out, Nep. But of course, at the very same time, if somebody else does not hit that booyah in the nick of time once passing that 80 points, then the most number of points still wins the day by the time we reach game number 8. So many things that could go on here. Predictions can no longer be made, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, back then, if like they don't have that much sight on placement points. They're not really aiming on getting that booyah. As long as they get elimination, a decent amount of placement, then that's enough for them, especially if they are on the top. But now they really need to think hard on how to grab a booyah, even if they haven't reached that like the activation of the condition yet. They need to focus on getting that booyah or finding out how to get those booyahs.
Absolutely, man. I mean, so much more importance placed on getting the big booyah. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be transitioning into game number 4 right now for all of you guys. We'll catch you guys on the battlefield. Roger, bro.
Done with the hot maps. Now, the cold map of Alpine, where the stone cold teams will be getting all those elimination. Flight path will be coming in from the south, Blueville towards Garrison. And let's see how spread out the drop will be for the rest of the team.
I mean, Nep, talking about this double elimination points thing, right? Like you brought up that example earlier, 19 eliminations, bro. You doubled that. You're close to 40 points just through eliminations. You're at 38. And imagine if the team gets a booyah on that game. You're 50 points in with one game number 6. I'm like, how are you even going to beat that, my friend?
That's why like it got me thinking. Where United is not doing, but we know how dubious they are in terms of like ending the day. It's either by getting a lot of booyahs, placement point or whatever. Either it's getting a lot of elimination within a day. Now they're trying to start day one wherein it won't work hard that much in the beginning, but towards the final match we are going to show you how the winning condition works.
Let's take a peek here at this engagement between the Indonesian team of Esports Divine and Twisted Minds. Diamond, sliver of health, bro. Thompson, can you win this fight? Answer is no. You don't have the health to do so. Abax shotguns him, at least to take a break shortly before the revival comes through, courtesy of Nameless. Toda joining this prey as well. Let's see if or not to put a little pressure on this Esports Divine squad.
Yeah, Videl's, well, this is something that I am impressed but also worried. He's always up front, and the rest of the teams are quite far. Yes, he can rush out, but that would be troublesome if he makes a mistake. So Evo's Divine will try to post. Videl's chase him down. Avax might be lured in for the trap that has been brought in by Todak. I'm not talking about traps, the player, but a trap that will be sprung.
Okay, with the trap that'll be sprung. Ray got the Vector in the hand, sprays Videl's down. Fires with the Mag 7. Does the exact same thing to Mr. Ray. Eliminations back and forth. Evo's Divine do not get to walk away with Avax. Fantastically done. But the revival is there, courtesy of Aim God. Toda! What a play! Fires with that shotgun, but instantly turned around. Aim God is there for the save. Jojo needs to get the job done right here, right now. But the pickup has been done. Jojo puts him down again. Oh, and Jojo gets a double. What a play by Jojo, saving the day towards the very end. And Ray comes back in here for the backup as well. Toda has just saved themselves from annihilation. Jojo saves them.
Jojo, this is a bizarre adventure that we're seeing right now coming from this guy. And Ray will be taking down Avax, though, will be saving grace for Evo's Divine, but that would be a little bit too late in terms of recovering from that battle. And I love how he's showing up for Todak, but let's see if that was the same for WAG. Bigatron in front of them. Not so much of cover for BTR and WAG. Not so much of a backup as well from what we've seen from Krillin.
Fire straight down, Krillin. Headshot with an AC-80. Bigatron Delta won't struggle bringing him back. As I say that, Kiba, it's the revival. The WAG don't want just that. They know they are one man down. They want to finish the job. Kong denies with the Drogon. Cyrus, good blue wall. Now that A124 gets popped as well. Can Cyrus respond? Yes, he can. Drogon with the 180. Steps that side towards that safety spot. And Kiba will be sprayed down instead. Cyrus, the savior, picks up Allen as well. What a play.
That is Cyrus the Virus for you. Just spreading it across BTR. This WAG gets their 4. 10 team remain. Battle is at hand for Heavy going against Onyx. Wings about to be clipped, and he goes down from the hands of Mufasa. But it's a good thing that Crime managed to bring back the rest of the team, and they can still fight on. But Heavy also grabbed their first 4 points.
Oh, this is great stuff coming through from all the teams here. WAG looks like they want blood. Fires spotted out. Explore hopping on out first. Here comes Cyrus with the flank, and it's Avax. WAG know there's a little bit of company here, so instantly hit that U-turn, backing away from the compound that is held by Evo's Divine.
That's a smart move from WAG. I mean, that instinct that will work for them, but unfortunately that didn't work for BTR. The team that most of the time we find in Final Circle will be the first, or one of the first teams to be taken out. Now, let's see as the blue closes in from first to the second stage of the circle. Expand will be left from Vantage, and not so much of a breathing space and moving space as well on their approach.
Onyx Olympus is taking on the damage from the blue here. Not going to be tickled too much by it. 5 minutes in. Circle 1. Nobody's going to break a sweat over this. They need those coins, and they're most definitely on a good spree picking them up. And they have to, right? Because early engagements really put them in a fix, forcing them to scramble across the map. But they found a full team revival, so this is a decent recovery for the Indonesian team.
Yeah, I mean, they're just grateful for the coins and they want to grab more. Because a full revival, 4-man revival that happened on them. Now, we have 9 teams remaining, and not so much of elimination, especially on the second half of our leaderboard for this map. Now, Buat United, well, the team that hasn't woken up just yet will be waited for. This is one of their best maps.
Export! Pushing on fourth. But the connection's just not there. I don't want to say that, but Ecos gets straight down. Riyadh follows up, but unfortunately not enough firepower to fight back. 3 players from Vietnam. WAG just walking through the 2 expand team players.
Yeah, I mean, WAG, they managed to stay on the outside of the blue, make that rotation towards advantage, probably taking that northern bridge onto the center or onto the edge of the next phase. Now, Heavy is on the edge of that phase, but they need to move in 3 seconds. The blue will be closing in, and 9 teams, not even close to 8 minutes in this game, and this is quite fast though compared to what we've seen from the other maps.
A little fast indeed. And Toda, I mean, they definitely need to recover, right? Because on the overall board, they kind of slumped. 22 points in total, currently sitting in the 10th spot, 6 points behind Onyx Olympus. They're definitely one of those teams banking on match number 6, giving them double points. But of course, Buriram sitting in spot number 11 would be a little bit more desperate for it. A1-4 popped already. Tatsuya, Rebel Rush, just to get around him and finds nothing. And they are getting rushed upon here by Team Heavy. Vidal's with that safety play, and he does get to survive long enough for the rest of his team members to come in here with a cover fire, but Traps abandoning the rest of his team members. Fies and Vidal's have to take this fight, and they back away, and Heavy actually just running past them.
Hey, running past them, and that caught Mufasa off guard. Traps will be taken down. Rescue will come up. Now, it will be a 2v2 once the wall has been brought down, but all this noise might be bringing in attention coming from afar, but they are not thinking about that. There goes the takedown. Vidal's taken down. Get nice, but quick pick up, quick revival that happened for Heavy. That will be their savior.
Okay, now leg spotted out already. Vidal's with the Groza. And it looks like that Homer did find his connection as well. Rebel Rush Vidal's gets a little bit closer. And Lag just could not get that up and close, up and personal strike with the snipe. It will be the M590 instead. And Toda with 10 strong eliminations now. Looking for the next circle.
Looking for the next circle, but Heavy's not out just yet. In spite of all the chaos, they managed to bring back at least 1 more player. Now, Evo Divine, 7 eliminations for them. Forest Red will be their home for the moment, and no one will be knocking on their doors unless Heavy continue their path. And speaking of Heavy, there goes Mufasa as Onyx Crime is going for the dance. This is Evo Divine trying to disrupt their music.
Let's see if that rhythm can be broken here. Onyx Olympus, man, still 0 eliminations. I think they've looted up enough already, but they're like, okay, maybe. No, we just don't want to fight just yet, Mustafio. We're not scared. We're just being prepared.
Well, speaking of prepared, no one's prepared for this. Another Thailand versus Thailand battle, and either way, like one of these teams being expected to be on top, but it's not showing because they're bringing each other down.
Ah, beautiful snipes from Moshi from across. But Saming, though, he's going to be the threat. Jonah better watch out, baby. And he gets into the house just in the nick of time. Backup is there, though. Wasana barricades himself in with a good glue wall. Now 2 players go in for the rush. Rebel Rush used by Wasana just to get out in the nick of time. 2 more players meet him halfway through. Wasana's got backup. M590 in hand, but he doesn't have the life to sustain his battle out there. Jonah with the backup pulls out the grenade launcher, but doesn't get a decent clip. Moshi with the backup from afar. Exposy down, bleeding. bleeding on the ground, and Jonah using the maze of glue walls to get away.
Oh, almost a good move for Jonah, but unfortunately, Will has been cut off in that compound. Moshi, the only one remaining, not so much for him to move. Diamond hit once, but not twice. Let's see if the turnaround will work for him. A lot of crosshairs on him, but still managed to step over them. But unfortunately, Brim United will be taken out. It is Twisted Mind victorious.
Oh, Twisted Minds twisted them inside out, put it on. Unfortunate in that engagement. Twisted Minds is so much better with the initial shot down onto their players as well. Now Aim God running away, tail between its legs because the backup's just not there. Now Riptide Rhythm's not going to help them out at all. It's just going to slow down their pursuers. Twisted Minds showing up will be the distraction for Toda as well, so their opponents can get away safely in the nick of time. Toda, 14 eliminations, but way too early still. They cannot get eliminated once again.
And they need to be cautious. They invested so much already in this elimination. They have to slow down. Wait for the rest of the teams to be out in the open, especially with Faiz. We've seen how well he can use that sniper. That can be their advantage to make all those points from a distance. And we are seeing a few lining up already.
Massive round for Toda. 3 games and they only managed to collect 15 eliminations over 3 games. In this game alone, 14 eliminations strong. It's a huge, huge opportunity for them. If they can capitalize with the Booyah as well, these extra points should help them make a good case for the #1 spot finisher by the end of the day. Now cutting the distance down between themselves as well as Twisted Minds. Videls is taking too much of liberty here. Oh, wow! Jojo!
Jojo up close and personal with that snipe, but that will not work as Twisted Mind because Videls has fallen down with that I don't know what move going in solo against Twisted Mind. Imagine, you know, like there's 2 players right there. You might take advantage because of the numbers, but we're still a little bit early into the game that they can recover as quickly as this. Then Twisted Mind just waited for them to knock, and they just like brought down the door.
Yeah, I love the confidence out of Videls and the Toda squad, but you gotta understand your opponents. You know, you can't take a risk like that on the Southeast Asian level, but, you know, I guess those risky plays is what earned them those 14 eliminations in the first place, or 15 thanks to Jojo after he just picked one up. Now he's the final survivor for the squad. Just needs to play these placement points. So let's see how the man will be able to do it in such open lands. Expand now. Kent cannot make that rotation in towards that inner wall. Arpik joins him down on the ground, bleeding out. Rian trying to find a good shot. AWM as well as M82B on the combination. Does not have a Bison, does not have a shotgun. This guy is taking it all on the snipes, and he pays a high price.
High price indeed, and there it goes. The elimination of Expand. They won't be expanding that much. GOW 6 elimination already. Battle continues, and they have a good sides on Twisted Mind on the right as well as WAG on the left. They even have that monster truck disrupt any or break down any, but oh, Expose! They'll need Saming to get that headshot.
15 eliminations strong for this Malaysian squad. But the problem is, can they remain silent through Jojo a little bit longer? Circle leaving him high and dry. He plays the homer. Not very defensive. Can disable one guy. Heavy gets eliminated first. Toda earns 1 extra point right there.
So that going solo, similar to what we're seeing from Twisted Mind, a 1v1 on one side and a 4v4 on another. GOW on above, but no one's going out just yet.
Oh, Toda. Jojo versus Expose. And Jojo shuts him down. AWM, baby. And Toda still alive. The 4v4 still going strong. GOW up against WAG. Vietnam against Vietnam. 39% win rate each. Even the AI cannot decide who's going to take this game. Tian down, bleeding on the ground though. Tan, Demon loses his life. Tan now, the final hope. But Toda, Jojo taking advantage from the back.
If GOW will be able to clutch
one
this
more,
at least
one
to
more,
bring down one
more.
That might be it. WAG is in favor in this 3v1, but that would be the saving grace for GOW if Todak can bring down one more in this fight.
Wow, one more! Expo, one more! Toda! Jojo, what a play! Now Krillin shutting down Ton. Ton eliminated already. And now it's Jojo up against the wall. Jojo up against WAG. Can he pull off a phenomenal shot once again? Krillin trying to cut down the distance. He's got the M590. One shot with the shotgun should be able to get the job done. It's a 2v1. Cyrus finds him as well. That's the end for Toda. WAG scores the booyah.
WAG for their first booyah in this pre-season. Todak very, very close. High hopes for Jojo right there. Really bizarre in terms of how he ended that game.
Holy mama. Jojo the MVP hands down, but obviously you all know how we pick our MVPs. It's going to come from the Booyah team. And one of the players from the side of WAG is definitely going to pick that up. But dude, Toda with the survival skills out of Jojo. And usually when the player's surviving, you don't see them picking off other players on the battlefield unless it's Moshi. All right? Okay, Moshi the sniper, we've seen him do that time and time again. But a player out of Toda, Jojo, this is some fresh new face out here making so much of noise. And Jojo's got to be so proud of himself. And he survived quite a long time as well up against those two monstrous shotguns.
I mean, even if they doesn't have that much capacity in terms of close range damage, but at least he can weave his way around two players. And WAG, though, let's not take it away from them, grabbing the first booyah, their first booyah in this day. And I guess this will catapult them a little bit higher because of all the point that they have as well.
I mean, it was a phenomenal match. And it's no cap, guys. Seriously, man, no exaggeration. These games are legit so exciting, back to back to back. So shocking to see Malaysia perform like that. In fact, Toda was, somewhere down the bottom. They were really struggling to climb up. You know what's so sad though, Neptune? That this wasn't game 6. This wasn't double points time. If this was double points time, Toda is on the #1 spot right now.
Definitely. I mean, we were talking about that winning condition, that #1 condition, and it is promising. If they can pull it off like this, and Videl slowing down, I would say. Videl slowing down, then they could have taken a booyah plus the double elimination points.
And then Toda really needs to think about this, right? Because if they had already hit the championship, rush point, okay? They've already hit those 80 points, and Videl's pulled something off like that, then Toda's not going to be the champion of our preseason. Toda can go to sleep, and they can cry themselves to sleep because it's not going to happen. A team like from Vietnam is going to walk away because they have walked away with the Booyah. The Booyahs are so much more important now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But of course, let's watch the highlight of that phenomenal matchup once again.
I mean, that's just so much overall. And for WAG, though, I mean, they've fought so many battles in this game from the early parts, and they're the ones next in the highlight. I guess they really deserve the spotlight right now, even with that booyah. And like, even without Todak into the mix, how they fought out against that 4v4, they were on the low ground compared to Evos, and they still managed to get that booyah. Now, WAG, we were talking about how well Vietnam has rose to this level, and they're still staying afloat.
I mean, they just flew in there. Evos Divine, and they got shut down instantly by Toda, right? And then, of course, WAG up against GOW. This one was a bitter rivalry between the Vietnamese front, and they were just mowing each other down. And Jojo just taking advantage of all of this chaos that was breaking out, right? And so that was just brilliant play coming through from the Malaysian player. And such sharp shots coming through as well, right? He had the M82B, he had the AWM, he had everything going his way. He had the right guns, he had the right amount of skills to remain alive, but he had no counter to the M590 play towards the very end, especially with the numbers as well. So long enough, he did manage to survive. but WAG still walked away because they had more players surviving on the battlefield, and it takes skills and brains to get that far. 4 eliminations, 5 assists, 2,750 damage for our MVP from WAG, the one and only Krillin.
Yeah, Krillin wearing the A124 is active, and Nikita that has been buffed for passive, Nairi as well as Joseph, and there's just so much that we want to see from WAG right now. We've seen that already from the other competition, but with all the changes, with all this aggression, with all this, I would say, quickness in terms of getting all those points from the early parts, WAG is one of the team that can do it, but most of the time fail to end the game. And this is where we want them to start off, grabbing that booyah and even beating those who initially grabbed the booyah from this day.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it was a beauty to watch WAG do what WAG just did, and it was not the first game where they're having a decent enough run in terms of points. Getting this booyah helps them climb that overall leaderboard just a little bit more. The second Vietnamese team to get a booyah from the day. Earlier it was P Esports. Now let's look at the lineup here of the active and passive skills that they've brought in, right? A124 combined with that Skylar, Tatsuya and Cassie. This is a very balanced squad that's coming on through. And in terms of the passive skills that they walk in here as well, the only one out of the norm is Nikita, but no surprises seeing Nikita is pretty much being used by so many of the players out there because of the recent buff that she got. Extra reload speed, you want that. Slowing down the healing of your opponents, it's so useful in the current meta.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're the rusher or one of the rushers, similar to what we're seeing from Krillin, that would work for them because of the slowdown. And if you have a backup like Cyrus, I mean, from what we're seeing, the Cassie electrotherapy, the quick pickup that can be brought in by Tiva, that combination overall can bring them to that victory. Thus, the booyah for the team. But we're looking at the game standing right now. Todak takes that number 1.
With this game alone, if it was match number 6, if they had pulled off a performance like this, they would have earned 49 points. Toda, from where they are right now, if they had gotten 49 points, they would be in the number 1 spot. I mean, there's just so much that the double points game can do for all of these teams out there. So there's something definitely to look forward to. This is just game number 4, ladies, German boys and girls. We've got 2 more matches to call exactly who wraps things up on that number 1 spot of this first day of our pre-season for Southeast Asia Spring 2025.
You just mentioned first day, and there's just so much that happened that I'm thinking like how the teams are setting it up. It looks like they want to end this that quickly because of all the heat. But as we look into today's standing, Evo's Vine still on top. GOW managed to move up as well, but WAG with that booyah and number of points tied up with Twisted Mind. Todak, they jump up drastically with 51 points, and they grab the highest elimination record for this day out of 4 maps.
So here, one more time, if this was the championship match, if this was the final day, 50 points, we assume 50 points was the championship rush point. Now 5 teams can potentially become champion. The next team to get booyah would have been crowned champion. And that's how crazy this is. Toda with 51 points in the 5th spot could technically become champion. That's how the game has changed. That's how this has just gotten so wild, so quickly, Neptune. Oh, you gotta be so excited for this year in the world of Free Fire esports.
Yeah, I mean, there's no giving up for those on the 3rd and 5th, if that is the scenario. There's no giving up for them. Most of the time, if the lead is that high, they don't bother. They don't bother at all because they couldn't get that much point. But that is the saving grace. That is the twist that we want to see them play.
And all of this is happening, and we haven't even seen the effect of the double points just yet. So can you imagine the potential here where a team just launches in with the double points game into the run for the championship? It'll be crazy, but of course, ladies, German boys and girls, more of whatever potential craziness that we can encounter a little bit later on. We are going to be taking a quick short break. What can you expect when we do come back from the break, we have not seen Next Terra just yet. Once we do that, we will have completed 5 games, and then the randomizer will bring us to the final random map of the day before we sign off from day 1 of this preseason.
Yeah, well, before we continue on, we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, the final 2 matches will be happening. So see you in a bit.
Welcome back, survivors. This is the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia Spring 2025 pre-season. My name's AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with the one and only Neptune, the gentleman Garcia. 4 games have concluded, and it looks like Vietnam still is bringing a lot of heat to the table, but we still have our game changer, game number 6, double points coming up your way. We also have teams who are struggling at the bottom who should not be struggling based on historical data, but they still are. So a lot of shocking stuff can still happen here. Neptune, Malaysians are all up in arms in terms of how well they can do out there. They are going all out as well.
Yeah, all out indeed, especially from what we've seen Todak do. And let's see if they can continue that on. They grabbed that first almost a booyah and a lot of points though. But
a lot of points, yeah.
A lot of points. But there's one thing though, the theory that I'm thinking of, Graham United, they're very close to the bottom, like second to the bottom of our standing, and it's there's still chance for them to go for that double elimination game number 6. So I want to stick with that storyline. I want to think that they want to test out that winning condition.
If Buriram moves to the final spot, the 12th spot after this next game, and then they jump up to the number 1 spot just based on game 6, I think that'll set the tone for the rest of the year just like that. But of course, we are gearing up for game number 5. It's going to be Nextera, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So make sure you buckle in as we fly on into Nextera. Don't go anywhere. The fun is just started.
Going into the future, Nextera is the map to be. Coming from Mortar Ruins towards Grab Labs, that is a flight path that we have for the teams. And let's see if they can bring so much more points similar to what we've seen from the past 4 maps.
Oh, Decos just asking for trouble here, dropping on a split. And between him and the rest of his team members will be Team Famos. So heated battles early game for both the Malaysian teams.
Yeah, I mean, they don't call it twin for nothing. That can occupy 2 teams, but the only thing is once they get out, only 1 remains. And a lot of early engagement that has been happening, not only from the Malaysian team, Vamos and Expat, but also here from BTR and Heavy.
Good engagement so far from Heavy. Taking Koja out. And, you know, BDR doesn't have that much of coins. The very start. Oh my god, Hans. Sliver of health. M590. Can it come in handy here? Kyong with the Bison. Circles around. Hans! What? Still with a sliver of health. Finally runs into the Bison play by Kyong. My god, that took so long.
It was waiting for Kyong to follow him as well. But good thing that Kyong stick to his ground. Now, Faiz on the side. Going in for a hit. And X-Bor almost, but Get Nice will be taken down by this guy. And BTR gets their first 2 elimination. Now, 3 teams as battle in here will be waiting on each other as we go in to GOW and Onyx Olympus. The spread of Onyx Olympus, though, might work for them, especially with Wings on the high ground. But the same story will be happening. But no, speaking of Wings, he has been clipped a little bit too early.
Well, blessing in disguise here is you get to revive all of those clipped wings instantaneously as long as you can buy them back in. So nothing too much to worry about. Just a few coin machines to loot up before they can bring him in. Or, of course, perhaps they can earn some extra coins by knocking down a couple of their opponents. Let's see if they do manage to get that done. Thompson in hand. Zyru, a sliver of health. Could not get away from Demon. And Heavy bites the dust in the 12th spot as this battle between GOW and Onyx continues.
And it continues. Ton has been taken down. Let's see who goes down next. Is Adam with half on HP as DN tries to take shots on him. Yanbin, though, takes the high ground. The dance is on, but Onyx managed to get away. And Yanbin also pushing it away with that Tatsuya Rebel Rush. And Yanbin will be taken down by Adam.
Interesting play coming on through here. And Dian doesn't really have the coins to buy back, but Demon does. Yanbin on the way back in. And Adam! Just playing it too cheekily. Will get sprayed down. We don't need the M590 for that. Technically, if he had it, he would have been happy, but it's a hard gun to loot up, you know.
Yeah, I love the bait and switch, though. Thinking that only 1 player will be in there, and then jumps out of the way, and then 1 goes in. Now, let's see if there will be the same result for BTR right now. They are a complete squad, and only 1 from WAG that they're targeting. But for Todak, who will be getting a few more elimination against Vamos. That battle hasn't been over just yet. They have by biding their time, and not quite sure if they can get so much more of the points, especially as Vamos looks like they're winning it.
This is interesting layout here for the battle preparation coming through from Team Toda. Jojo just got brought back in, and he literally flies back to join the rest of his team members. I don't know if this is a great idea. They were protecting his loot, but that was a very risky play for Jojo. So this is just Toda committing 100% into this fight, but they're also committing because of the confidence of going up against 3 players from the side of Vamos.
Yeah, let's see if this can roll on a little longer, because if it does, GOW will be knocking on them, and Vamos right now might be saying Vaminos to this thing, but no! The Axel!
Oh my God!
Back from traps! Almost for that takedown, but look who says hi. It is GOW cleaning it up. And it's a good thing this time around, Vidals is not rushing in. He's rushing out.
Traps and Yanbin taking each other out at the same time. And Drian stealing the elimination on Tan. Riptide Rhythm coming on through. Drian steals one more. And Drian steals 3 points. 3 points for Expand just for showing up at the right time.
Just at the right time. Even a little bit delayed compared to GOW.
Oh,
they
my
have
goodness.
5 on the point. This is what we're talking about. Just like, even if you have the advantage or the element of surprise, you can surprise them a little bit more, making them think that they can loot up quite easily. And that is what Expand has done. Fies, though, managed to cross and get away. For how long? That is a question. And if I'm mistaken, Fies is the only one remaining for Todak.
Well, Expand here in a little bit of a scuffle with Onyx Olympus. A little spread out on the battlefield, so not a fight they want to get super aggressive in. Crime's already cooking up that nade, meeting his ex-squad, but technically it's all different players, so... a double monster truck, just to make it a little bit more fun. Diane with the shot from afar, but Zyro is going to get instantaneously revived. So, good recovery from Onyx Olympus, but they now know they are going to be sandwiched in here by 2 teams. They try to back away. Adam meets Dian, and Adam just finds the floor instead as he trips on his own foot and finds out that gravity hurts as much as a breakup.
He fell for the wrong person. That is what happened. Expand right now, not falling for that trap. Managed to say go for the takedown against Crime and recovery of Affix as well. 7 elimination, promising, similar to what we've seen from Todak, and I guess that's the motivation that Expand might have need.
Let's see if Kens can pull out something beautiful here as he's trying to flank around and find Dian's back. He does find that. Headshot! Hello, my friend! Says Kens. And he claims point number 8 for Expand. But the rest of GOW is still here, though. Tan and Yanbin trying to split up. Decos meets him with the AC-80. Gets one shot. Beautiful. XM8 response from Tan. Just not finding its mark. And both of them ganging up on Drian. Decos sees what's happening. Yanbin finding Drian. And the man is just a tad bit too late. GOW. Beautiful recovery to force Expand back.
Yeah, they have forced Expand back and still like tanking the blue, as GOW might be stepping in onto next phase of the circle, but we saw earlier a glimpse of a BTR might be waiting for them. So let's see how they are going to flank over, especially with Ken's a little bit too far from Decos. And if they manage to survive this, then let's see on which position they will take. As we go in for EVOS and PE Sports battle in a boxing gym, well, let's see who puts down the gloves.
Lost Divine. Let's see if we can get out of the sticky situation. PE Sports, my God! Shot out of the sky. Gracia! This is the secret weapon of EVOS Divine in this season. This guy, you know, not necessarily rushing in for all of those shots because he is the main sniper, but, you know, when push comes to shove, he knows how to get the job done up close and personal.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of surprise coming from this guy. I mean, you can call him Russia Roulette at this point. Let's see if he can pull out all those in this battlefield. Bigatron Delta, though, no surprises right here. They have a lot of elimination, but not so much of enemies surrounding them. And Zipway is somewhere that they can stay in for quite some time. Edge of the next circle, and also quite a good cover if in case they want to go under that bridge.
Twisted Minds here now. 0 eliminations. Not surprised because they do want to protect their position on the overall leaderboard. They want to get into that final circle before going crazy and maybe even use the final match for the double points and really make a mad dash for the #1 spot. But either way, they are close enough, just 9 points behind that #1 spot at this point of time, and they don't want to do something silly to mess that up.
Now, looking at that sidebar that we had, if in case Expand Expand has already taken the lead on Burim United just from the numbers, and if Twisted Mind can take down Burim United, what you mentioned earlier, they will be taking that last place, and that is what we want. What we want them to see if they're planning to go in for the double elimination gameplay.
Full squad revival coming on through from Esports, so I wouldn't call it very late in the game, but it is pretty late, 10 minutes in. And this place is pretty crowded. GOW, Bigatron Delta out in the open, A1 to pop. Rebel Rush couldn't really do much, and GOW is ganged upon.
And has a floor wipe with them. Todak, though, has been eliminated on 9th place, and we are looking at 8 teams remaining. Expando has managed to survive a little bit longer now. Twisted Mind in the fight against WAG when we thought it was Burim United that they will be facing against. Let's see who will be winning this fight.
Yeah, great Riptide Rhythm coming on through, forcing Nameless to go ahead for the reposition, and a quick pickup coming on through as well. X-War could not flank around in the nick of time, and now he will have to back away and patch himself up. Nameless managing to duck from all of those crazy shots as well. PE Sports trying to get involved, but EVOS Divine getting involved in their own encounter. And things slow down a little bit here for Twisted Minds. They need to recover Diamond before the next phase of action.
Now let's see on how they can do so. Twisted Mind 3v1 against WAJ, and Xbor managed to step out, and PE Sports though will be taken down on the 8th place, and Explosy finally spotting WAG Xbor, thus their 4th elimination. Now 3rd phase of the circle going into the 4th. This might hurt a little bit, especially if they don't have the full squad that they need to get more points.
Yeah, speaking of more points, 4 points for the side of Twisted Minds. 52 points overall in the leaderboard, sitting down in the 4th spot. The only Thai team currently in the top 10. That's crazy. Buriram's the other Thai team, and they're in the 11th spot.
I still want to stick it. I want to stick to that story, but Kiba right now trying to stick that shot, but unable to do so.
Oh my goodness, this guy, low HP, M590. He had the same gun. He had all the chances, but he was outnumbered and distracted because out in the open on a roof, everybody's trying to take his life.
That's one thing. BTR has been taken down, and Evo's Divine is still at it. No elimination just yet at this level of the day, and let's see if they can do it. Now, Burim United, finally, a little bit of signs of life. 8 elimination already, make that 9, and that is 5 coming from Wazana. I guess this is the statement that they want to show right now.
Saving cheeky from afar, but question is, how many knocks can he get? It's Ray that's walking away with all of the lives of his own team member. Sam Ming has not managed to take away a single life. In fact, he's getting tagged up by the circle. Twisted Minds not having a great run here. 11% potential win rate. At least it's 1% more than Onyx.
1% more than Onyx. Well, let's see how well can they get this Burim United right now, well, they have one team to worry about, and that one team only has 3 players. So Evos might be taken down and might be denied of a chance to get that booyah this time around.
Wasana with a quick loot and then exit. They know that there are players upstairs, so a couple of grenades will be able to do the trick.
Whoop.
First is the glue wall melters being laid out. Ray steps on out as well, very dangerously, and meets a couple of shots from the shotgun of Wasana.
Wasana right now just waiting on them. I mean, good pressure. Even if they are on the edge of the blue, they're just putting in pressure, making them think that they will be staying at the bottom. And then later on, Burim United can squeeze themselves in onto the next phase that will be showing up right now. But no, Moshi says hello up close and personal, managed to put in a little bit of damage.
Fun fact, Buriram has 12 eliminations now, but they also have 12 overall eliminations from the past 4 games, all right? That's crazy. So they have already equalized their performance of the day on this game itself. Let's see if or not they'll be able to outdo the number of placement points. They currently have 11 placement points. If they walk away with the booyah, they would have outdone their whole day's performance just in one game in both eliminations and placements. Buriram trying to break their own record right here. Get high, getting knocked down onto the ground and eliminated instantly. Rasya with a shot from afar, but Jonah will be able to meet Ray in the head and eliminate him from the run as well. Buriram gets that revenge.
Buriram gets the revenge with 3 players remaining. There's still a good chance, and they get that elimination on Aim God with that trap, with that mine. Let's see who goes down next. Raja will be taken down in the hands of Jonah. It's a 1v3 situation. Burim United, they say silent. They didn't move that much, but this time, when we ask, I think they want to get that number 1.
Absolutely. Zairu tagged up already. Grenade is forcing him out of his defense. And Wasana, M590 to the chest. Zairu goes down. Buriram walks away with a booyah. And with 1 game, they outdo the placement points collected over 4 games. With 1 game, they outdo the eliminations collected over 4 games. Looks like Buriram the Beast has finally woken up.
Finally woken up. And, well, we 2 maps, including this one that we just concluded. I just want to see how much more they can put themselves up, and I'm still going with that theory. They might have woken up a little bit too early from what I expected, from what I mentioned, but they might have calculated as well. This is what we need if we want to get that number 1 towards that game number 6.
Very interesting cams shown here by the side of Buriram. They are not even playing from the same spot. That could most definitely be a factor in terms of how they are not the best performing team today, Nam.
Well, probably communication-wise, most of the time that is when you're within the same room, within the same venue, they can communicate quite better. That might be what's hampering them from performing that well from the beginning up until the end. So let's see if that really is the case. There's also some storyline that I want to keep saying and continue on. If Burim United can do this again in that game number 6, they've just broken that winning condition that Free Fire has brought us.
Well, now we no longer need to wait. We are at the very end of our show. 1 more game to go. That 1 game will be played on a random map. That 1 game will provide us with double elimination points. That 1 game can change how the leaderboard looks in the most craziest of fashions. I mean, you're talking about a team that's potentially in the 10th spot with an opportunity to jump up to the number 1 spot. You're talking maybe about a team that's even in the 11th. Even Onyx Olympus currently sitting in 11th can jump up to that number 1 spot. That's crazy, Nam. That's crazy.
Well, what's crazy is, like, imagine from Burim United, after that game, they put themselves in the middle. And then towards the end, if they can put themselves on the top, it's just a matter of 2 matches. You know how you just hopped in against everyone else. That's how crazy these formats will do. And we talked about earlier when we saw the standings, every time we see a standings, we talk about the champion rush condition. The winning
Yeah.
condition has
Yeah.
changed overall.
Yeah.
We don't really know what to expect anymore. What is reality?
And you know, I don't know if this favors a team like Buriram or not, because you know they are really good at getting these booyahs. But sometimes you see them going on a streak of 5 booyahs within a day, and then sometimes they're just totally devoid of booyahs, and all they're doing is getting the top number of eliminations and points. And if that happens on that championship day, if that happens on the grand finals, they can collect as many points as they want. They will not walk away as champions unless the other teams fail game after game until game number 8, and they finally walk away with the most number of points. So just purely depending on points can no longer be the meta that Buriram uses to dominate Southeast Asia anymore. It just cannot be.
Yeah, it cannot be. There's a lot. Winning condition has been broken down into several parts, and some of it at this moment is still missing. We don't have any idea on how it will happen. It's just up to us to see it up front, in the battlefield, into the scoreboard, on how that will be shown. But speaking of shown, we're going to show you a little bit of preview, a glimpse of what happened earlier in Nextera with his highlights.
Yeah, of course, a very early game. GOW kind of getting into a heated battle for sure, and I was actually quite surprised as to how they handled themselves there.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising as well, but we've seen that from the early parts of the day that they are heated up. It just so happens that probably it's a map scenario. They favor this map compared to the others, because starting off
because they did
Purgatory,
get so many eliminations, but you know, just getting eliminated early, like that was that point where GOW just made that exit, right? They had what, 9 or 10 eliminations before that happened, Neb. So it was a very good aggressive run, but kind of just shades off Malaysia from round 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. Now, inconsistency might be the case for that. Let's see if that will stick up until the final knockout stage. But for Buriram United, there's just I don't know, I couldn't get it away. Buriram United, especially with Wasana popping off, and it's not just a 7 elimination. Even earlier, when the first time we saw them on screen, he already had 5 elimination in this battle, in this match. So I guess there's something that triggered them, or probably they're just waiting for this final moment in this map of Nextera to really pop off.
I mean, I don't know if it was a planned thing, man. I think Buriram just went in there. They didn't know what to expect. As usual, Buriram starts things very, very slow. They are a slow ramp-up squad, and they have done that exact same thing here today, right? Just showing up very strong on game 5, and you know, to the detriment of the other people. I believe this could also happen in game number 6 and really ruin a few teams' day, right? Because they have been working the whole day long, and here comes Buriram at the very final 2 games to show them up.
Imagine, later on we're going to see how many points they gathered in the overall standing and how much they needed to get to that number 1 spot. But before we go there, let's head over to the characters that they use. Wasana, MVP, well, he won't be letting go of that Atsuya. He really needs that. And then a little bit of Shani as well as Nairi to hold up his ground. But for the rest, it's pretty much similar. Skylar, 8124, and Cassie. I'm not seeing anything that's different in terms of the active skill, but again, this really works even from the previous tournaments before the unique skill has been used.
Yeah, and they're running a double Nikita. You gotta see exactly where Buriram is coming from. They know they are a very aggressive team, and the only one not running the Joseph is Moshi, because he has to drop that Joseph for something much more effective, which is the Raphael, right? You get those snipes from afar, your opponents are gonna breathe out so much more faster, and that's just gonna make Moshi so much more dangerous out there on the battlefield. Once again, one of the high IQ teams when it comes to the lineup of the setup up on the active and passive skills. And through a phenomenal performance, they've managed to pick up a total of 28 points. Not the most within the day, but good enough for a fantastic recovery. Buriram, who has been struggling the whole day. Now, we also have to look at the fact that EVOS and Bigatron Delta has managed to bring in that consistency courtesy of Indonesia today, and that's actually going to allow them to stay at the top of the leaderboard.
And that's one thing. I mean, Evos haven't grabbed their booyah just yet, and they're still number one from the past overall standing that we've seen. So with this number going in second place, 22 points, that still increases their odds that they are number one. And BTR, same goes top three. Now, let's look at the standings. There we have it, 83 points. But I want to go down to Buriram United, 51 points. 32 points needed, and we did calculate that earlier. Like a potential of 50 points can be done, especially if they can do what Todak did earlier from that what Todak did earlier from one of the games, that is Alpine.
Yeah, Todak got 19 or was it 20 eliminations? Well, it doesn't matter. It was a lot, and it was a massive game just on its own. But to be able to do that on game 6, I think that's going to be, just absolutely shocking. But of course, we can't forget the fact that it's not just the number one team that activates the double points. Every single team gets double points on the eliminations. So this game number 6 is going to be very, very focused on the engagements out there on the battlefield. But at the same time, teams could go the exact opposite way because they know how important these points are going to be. They're going to be trying to survive for as long as possible. They know other teams are aggressive, so they might play a little bit more passive or defensive. I don't know how these teams are going to react or try to apply their moves out there. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm excited for this game number 6 now.
Definitely. I mean, we still have no clear view on how this is going to end up, on how they are going to treat this, which I agree with what you mentioned. 50% might be going in for aggressive map. The 50% will be going in for the passive. But before we go there, let's find out what map we're going to go for this game number 6. So let's head on to the randomizer. Purgatory, where we started our day, AJ.
Where we started our day, where we saw Indonesia make a lot of noise, where we saw Bigatron Delta walk away with a booyah, where we saw GOW walk away with massive number of eliminations, 17 eliminations. GOW, Vietnam could spring up to the top with just this one game. If GOW pulls it off again, getting 17 phenomenal eliminations, things could be different. If Bigatron Delta hits 14 eliminations once again and the booyah, it could guarantee that number one spot for Bigatron and the nation of Indonesia as a whole. So many things could happen in this next match. You gotta love the shakeup here in 2025.
Definitely. I mean, the huge jump, the potential jump that you can get if you play it just right. And I mean, and it's not just a matter of getting so much elimination or getting the booyah. It's a combination of both. Especially if you're some teams who are struggling and wants to move up. And we're just talking about 3 days of knockout stage, and they need to take advantage of that. There's not so much of combination in the groupings there right now. 3 days, they only get to play 2, or each group gets to play 2 of those days. And this will help them if in case they know or they've already understand from the warm-up that they had for the first 4 or 5 games and leading to game number 6.
I mean, there's just so many different scenarios that could break down by the end of the competition. Today is just going to show us a good preview of what we can expect when we head towards the conclusion of our Battle Royale segment for this preseason here in spring 2025 for Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia. We've gathered the top 18 teams, but you've only been able to witness the tenacity of 12 teams. Tomorrow, Group C will join the fray as well. Tomorrow, Group C will have its own fair share of, fancy footwork as well as gun skills out there to show us as well, to pull a little bit of a flex. I cannot wait to see what Group C has in store. I can't wait to see if or not Thailand has a little bit of a surprise for Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia by the end of the day through what some team like Buriram could pull off here with the double points.
Yeah, there's potential that Buriram can do so, but if in case it goes back to the early parts of this day, they might be left in there in the middle, and it's just up to the next day that they can carry over. I'm still props to Evo Divine. They are not getting any booyahs. They are getting points. Hopefully this is something that they do understand, that they don't need that yet until they reach to the championship, the championship final. So that is something that they can play out, or I would say plan out to grab booyahs a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, getting the #1 spot here on this first day of the knockout stage means nothing, right? It's just us casters wanting to see who can actually do something here on day one. So maybe we can kind of formulate exactly, the crazy scenarios that's going to be happening on the final day. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's gear up for game number 6 at Purgatory. We'll catch you guys on the map. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, final map of the day here at day 1 of the knockout stage. Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia preseason spring 2025 has a lot of shockers in store for us, but this flight path is so kind for them to all pick their own fighting sports, Nam.
Yeah, especially, but this is one surprise. Twisted Mind, they anticipated that someone might be targeting them on Moat House, thus they move along a little bit closer to the main island, and still, Twisted Mind are the ones going down. It's WAG that dropped into them that dealt the first blood. Now, Evo's Divine, eyes on them because they are #1 in our standings, despite of them not grabbing any booyahs.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane, right? And you don't really want to have a stat like that and kind of miss out on the championship just because you are not capable of hitting the booyahs, but you're capable of picking up many of these massive elimination points. So, very impressive rule added here by Garena Free Fire just to bring that importance back to securing that super important booyah. Now, Evo's Divine still circling around, spotting out Vamos. Luffy will be sprayed down first with the double vectors. That's a good play up top. Now they spotted out Stewart as well. Ray with the vector going in for the hunt. Suez will fire back and catch Ray, eliminating him from the run. And Evo's Divine, they have a 1-for-1 thus far. June, the second one. Axel from up top. He will return fire, but can't do much from a position like that.
Axel. He survived. We were thinking that it would happen the same thing earlier, and if I'm mistaken, it was the same guy from that zip line. So we had been brought back to the same map, same situation, different result. That is what we're talking about this new format of Free Fire. It might be the same story, but the result might be different overall.
One more player though from Vamos will get caught out. Now GOW definitely saving the lives of Vamos right there with that interference. That ice grenade stopped Rasia from going in from that follow-up snipe. And of course that distraction is also going to put them in a little bitter spot. Taking out 2 lives from the side of Evo's Divine. The revivals are going to be pretty tough here. But Ray's going to try to land as far away as possible to bring the rest of the team members right back into this play.
I mean, they really need to. I mean, they have lost their battle, and I guess there's multiple times that they have pulled the teammates in with that revive. Now, let's see if GOW can still play, as they are the ones in the lead in terms of elimination for already early parts of this game, and not so much of pressure being brought on them, especially in this area of Central. But the rest of the teams right now will be waiting and sitting pretty for the moment, because we are still waiting as to where the next phase of Circle will be, as GOW not only have they gotten away from one of the areas from the drop spot, they might be heading into Fire Brigade onto Heavy's side.
Let's see if or not Heavy can kind of like keep their heads down as they make this rotation, but I think Yanbin may have spotted him out, and Vamos! Early exit. Looks like the dream run for Team Vamos to the top is not going to happen in this game. Unfortunate, but this is the exact point I was bringing up when we first started off at Purgatory earlier on Neptune. You know, the Malaysians are really good sometimes, and they just can't seem to hold a steady flame throughout the battle.
Yeah, and that's something that need to work out on. I mean, compared to what we've seen other teams do, yes, they might have lose one match or one map, but on to the next one, they just get it back. They just bring in a few more points. So let's see if that is something that they can fix, and they need to fix it quite fast. This might be the last game of the day for them, but there's still one more day that they can play through. But speaking of play, GOW starting to play against Heavy as they drop in.
Tan with the farmers has the rate of fire. The damage was there as well, but just not enough angles. Heavy quickly ducked, going in there for the prone so that they don't get their heads shot off. Yanbin with the push. M590 will get the first clip. Not enough to knock the man down onto his feet just yet. The question is, can the rest of that backup now arrive? GOW is buying their time here as they slowly try to push Heavy to a corner.
Yeah, they pushed them in the corner, but they will be pushed out as well. And Heavy will be rushing in. A ton almost being taken down finally. And Yanbin will be going down next. Heavy will just be heavily armored at this point, not going down that easily, pushing GOW away. The God of Wolf will be flying out, and not only out of Fire Brigade, but also out of the circle.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that GOW went in there with a two-man push first. They just didn't have the numbers to sustain, but at least because of the decision, they still do manage to survive and play for perhaps another round of revivals. WAG, they do have the Rebel Rush on them. The Time Turner as well in the AIM-124 as well to disable the opponents in a sticky situation. We'll just have to wait and see if or not they can really put those kills to action.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that they need to do right now, as Onyx Olympus also trying to put things into action against Todak. But we've seen how well Todak did earlier, but Videls right now, and they did slow down in the aggressiveness, but right now they were too passive and not even minding their surrounding. Faiz and Traps still alive, and Jojo from afar with good view on them, but has no vantage point against Adam, who's rushing in against the two players.
Oh, Adam almost got the follow-up there. Now A124 clips him instead, slowed down just a little bit. Beautiful recovery here from Team Toda. And Faiz walking away with a sliver of health. Now that Ice Grenade's going to be forcing Adam out of his defensive position. Still not finding a Toda player with a false position. Won't be able to find a good shot. No takedowns just yet though.
Adam, I guess he's just buying time for Koda to replenish, to cool down, and he can use to find where they are positioned. But no, there's no waiting. Faiz has been spotted. Mag 7 for a takedown, but Crime has been taken down as well, thanks to Jojo from afar. And we've seen how well Jojo deals damage, especially in the snipes.
I mean, even if the man's all alone, he can deliver. In a situation where the other team players are distracted, he can deliver. But the question is, when everybody's focusing on him, when everybody's literally trying to seek his position out, can he survive this? Adam. And 590 in hand, one pop! And down goes Mr. Jojo.
I mean, Adam with the Coda really is taking advantage of that scan. And, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see on how well they can recover from that battle. Evo's Divine, though, outside of blue, only 2 elimination. And they're still fighting on as they rushes in onto the next phase of the circle. As we look back, BTR, Onyx Olympus on the fight and Wings has been taken down. Another team who's tanking blue.
Okay, Kiba looking for Zairu. Adam with the backup earlier, but just not enough to shut Kiba down. And here comes the flying Kiba. You better run, Adam, because this man has got a gun and is not afraid to use it. It's called the F590. Good glue wall. Kiba just could not find the finisher just yet. The time turner as well. But Kiba will finally walk through the man. Zairu gets shut down as well. Bigatron Delta eating up Onyx Olympus.
3rd time's the charm. Glue wall stopped him. Another glue wall stopped him. The chrono has stopped him, but managed to take him down. Going in, Evo's Divine against Grim United. There goes 2 down for side of 3RU, and Evo's Divine really wants to take that number 1 spot, but Rasha, the only one remaining, is still trying to go in for a dance.
Wow.
And BRU swept the floor with him.
Oh, they are very lucky that they are not getting third-partied at this point of time, because open grounds, a few glue walls to block those shots. But Moshi and Jonah, they were about to bleed out there. And Hai and Wasana were exposed as they went in there for the save. But luck's on the side of Buriram. They managed to pull a full team recovery. 10 eliminations already. Neptune is getting crazy.
Crazy indeed. And well, I love how it's showing up the actual points already on the side. It gives us a preview on how they're going to jump up. But speaking of jumping up, Expand might not be jumping up because of how they're performing against Twisted Mind right now.
But Twisted Minds is eating them up. And that's 10 points for Twisted Minds, thanks to the 5 eliminations collected. It seems like Malaysia overall will cry through Expand. And Vamos and Toda, they did manage to put up a decent fight today.
Yeah, a decent fight, but again, we are mostly asking for consistency, especially with the changes on map. You couldn't go with the usual pattern, and survivability as well. Now we're talking about 6 games. What if they step into the champion or grand finals, wherein there's a possibility that 8 maps will be played? How long can they survive for that, for that duration of battles?
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, you really got to be resilient. You got to have that mental stamina to get through the day. It may not be a physical game where you're going to get tired and sweaty and your muscles going to fail you, but mentally, if you're failed, then you're just going to get wiped out on that battlefield. Free Fire just requires such a mental strength as well as the speed of response here at times. Twisted Minds are being forced to a little corner. Bigatron Delta meeting them halfway. But Diamond X Force, he says, hello, welcome, thank you for the points.
They timed that so well. Even if BTR are the ones jumping in, Twisted Mind just know when not to move and then spring into action. Now, Twisted Minds have elimination already, make that 14 points for them. And another one potentially up close and personal. But finally, Exposé will be able to take down Koja, and Diamond will be picked up. On the other side, Grim United also grabbing a few more points. And this might be a comeback for the Thailand teams.
Dude, Buriram and Twisted Minds really making a mad dash when it comes to the points collection here. Jonah brings Pusana back into the fray. And 8 eliminations for Twisted Minds. That's 16 elimination points in total for this Thai team.
I love how things just jump up with every elimination that you get. Now, Twisted Mind targeting a BTR, make that the final player of Bigatron, and Faiz will be taken down. There goes the whole team of BTR, bringing us down to 6. Now, another potential battle across the river, which is heavy, and also up close would be Sairu, who's just staying silent, but not so long. I think he has been spotted by Heavy, or rather Twisted Mind as well.
Mufasa taking wild shots. None of them connecting, but a man's got to try.
Oh, there's no trying right there for lag. Burim United has just jumped on them, and this is troublesome for Heavy. Twisted Mind's already onto the edge from the river, and then Burim United will be coming in from the left-hand side. Now, Sairu will be stolen away by X4, but with all those noise, Heavy might be in trouble.
PE Sports going to be pressured by the blue here. Crime overextending, but he didn't really have a choice. Wings outside the circle. Blue's going to clip him as well. So Onyx Limp is about to go down under for sure. PE Sports, 3 players left in here. Circling around, and as you can see, they are absolutely broke. They did manage to hit a airdrop though, so let's see exactly how Nero works out of this one. Riptide Rhythm breaks down their defense, is quickly repositioned. Now put it up, putting pressure on them alongside WAG. But look at this, they turn around, and it is WAG that gets wiped to the ground. PE Sports survives, all thanks to Heavy looking across the battlefield.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Heavy went out and onto the outer limb to take out the other team, but PE Sports is not out of the woods just yet. They have Burim United sighting them, and then Twisted Mind from afar. Don't Cry will be taken down. Lao will be with Nero just using that truck as cover. For Burim United, Moshi would be deadly in this spot as a sniper.
Well, he's waiting to find at least one shot here. So one will be good enough to get the knock, and then the elimination will come to him. Misses that opportunity, and PE Sports taken down.
Or Burim United, 11 points already, or 11 elimination already, making that 22 points. But Heavy right now trying to back away. Hands has been taken down by Diamond. Twisted Mind just closing the gap between them. And this is looking like a Thailand team going in 4v4. Let's see who's going to get elimination points plus the Booyah combination in this game.
Buriram and Twisted Minds, both Thai squads going up against each other. It's going to be those blue wall melters first. Diamond exposed. Wasana and Get High with a double team. And now together they shut down Saming. Into the car. Saming, the sniper, the final player. And Buriram mows them down. 17 eliminations strong. And the Booyah to their name.
17 elimination doubled in this game, plus the 12. That is just so much of points. And going back to my theory, it seems like that was a plan.
That was indeed the plan. Buriram United, the only team in the day to just absolutely shock everyone with the final 2 games, Snap.
In final 2 games, they had a lot of elimination when we thought that they have been slowing down. I mean, that's like, joke's on us. Joke's on us. Brave United will not be slowing down, even if they, like other teams, try to bring them down. They know how to get back up. We've seen that so many times. We've seen that so many instances from the previous competition knockout stage. They always take the lead, even if they spend half of the day sleeping.
Absolutely, and of course, 17 eliminations in total. Multiplied by 2 gives you 34 points. You add that up with the Booyah, that's 46 points swiped by Buriram on this double point match. Holy mama.
So imagine 2 games from the bottom, they jumped into the middle, and then with that point, they might be jumping into the top. That's how crazy it is. That's how the potential of craziness in terms of movement you can go with just 1 day of play.
Yeah, Buriram was, of course, below Twisted Minds. And this time, they may just remain there, Neptune.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Twisted Mind did a lot in terms of points, and we were talking about that game number 6 with the double elimination. So them on the first and the second place only increase the odds that Twisted Mind still takes the lead. But for how much, that is a question. And since they are coming from the same group, there's a potential that none of them will be pulling away that easily from each other.
Nah, not at all. And Thailand, dude, they just were not leading the leaderboards at all. It was Indonesia. It was Vietnam. At one point, it was Malaysia. And Thailand, just towards the end of the day, just like that, are right back up on top.
And they just know how to play with our minds. They just know how to play.
That's the truth.
Yeah, with our minds, with the players' minds, with the numbers as well. You did mention that especially for Borneo United, this is one of the team that they can use a combination, especially take advantage of that one unique skill because of how smart they have done things in this game. So yeah, they know the winning conditions. They're just using it right now. Even if they didn't, it seems like they're not putting in so much effort, but they know how to put themselves back up.
I mean, it looked like they were not trying. It looked like they were struggling. And then it was like, wait a minute, guys. We had this planned all along. Calm down. Don't worry about it. Buriram's got this.
Yeah, I'm quite interested on how they're planning out the final day, as well as the finals day, the point rush as well. There's a lot of winning combination. There's a lot of winning condition, and Borneo United is slowly showing us how it is done just from day number 1.
Okay, so the biggest question is still here, right, Neptune? Did they manage to swipe away the number 1 spot? Because we know Twisted Minds and them will be really close because they both ended up this match with a lot of points, right? So it has to be neck and neck. But it is only Buriram with 2 booyahs from the day. Twisted Mind hasn't scored a single booyah. If this was the grand finals, and we had already, passed that 80-point mark for both of these teams, it would be Buriram, the champions right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if the target, I would say, is the 80 points, yes, and then they grab this final map of the day for the Booyah, yes, indeed, they will be the champions.
Yeah.
But in terms of today, if they've taken the lead against Twisted Mind, the numbers still shows that Twisted Mind will be on top. They did well from the first. There are a few misses in some of the maps, but Booyahs aside, they had a few more in terms of elimination as well as placement points, especially on that last game. It's very, very close. So Twisted Mind might be still number 1, but winning condition, champion rush, it would be Borneo United in that situation.
This is just so disappointing for the other teams that were so consistent throughout the whole day. I mean, you look at EVOS, look at Bigatron, they were dominating the top of the leaderboard, right? You even had teams like GOW, heavy, kind of climbing up little by little. This is just crazy, bro. But the underdog could also do this on the final day. The underdog could also spring up from absolutely nowhere if they've got the fire on their final day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just we're talking about Borneo United doing so. It's just them showing us. So if in case the underdogs will be able to replicate that, not close, but similarly, if they meet the winning condition, they grab the Booyah, and it's not like we haven't seen an underdog grab a Booyah twice in a game or in a day. That's something that they can pull off. They just need to be careful because other teams are chasing for the same thing. And if it would be a Borneo United or Twisted Mind, they can also counter what they've done this day.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a look at the highlights here from the final match of the day, Neptune. I mean, just phenomenal stuff running all around out there. But it was Toda up against Onyx Olympus initially, and I really thought it was a great engagement from Toda. But, that kind of broke down very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Todak backed away, and while they're backing away, they listen to us, especially for Videls. Videls listened to us, but he was backing away out in the open. He was spotted with a sniper, and that was the end of Todak. For Evo's Divine, it's just unfortunate that they went against Burim United, wherein they could have used this as a momentum to take that number 1 spot or maintain that number 1 spot because of how much they get into placement point. Probably use that for the Booyah as well. But as we can see in this final moment, how close it is between these two, Burim United managed to take that number 1.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they did it in such, oh my lord, lovely fashion in 9 eliminations, 6 assists, 3,220 damage. Your MVP. Get high.
Get high indeed. I mean, this is the highest that we have from one single player. And we're not talking about double points. This is just single elimination counted for that match. And the 3,000 in damage only shows how damaging, how he is a Terminator for this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, he's a tank as well. He's the assist. He's the backup sniper of the squad, but he is a Swiss Army knife. From a distance, with the shotgun, you know he's just going to be busting holes through all of his opponents. He can get it done any way Buriram needs the job done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Get High has been in there. Well, probably not in most instances, but every time there's a good chance that he's in there because he has a lot in terms of elimination compared to the other players. But looking at the situation, Burim United hasn't changed anything just yet in terms of their characters as well as how they played this game coming from game number 5.
Yeah, once again, that double Nikita bringing a lot of damage. Just a little surprised that, Get High is not running the Nikita as well, but he is that backup guy. So he is going to be a little bit more tanky with his approach. You've got the Joseph, you've got the J-Beams in there. You've also got Teva as the support player. He wants to pick up the rest of his team members quickly. He's got the electrotherapy that he usually walks into battle alongside Wasana with the Rebel Rush to get up close and personal. But we haven't really seen the tenacity of Wasana just yet.
I haven't seen that. It will have to see on how well they can play it towards the final knockout stage. Now, Burim United right now, we are looking at 17 elimination, 12 of the points. We're not getting bad at math. It just so happens that when it comes to this, we double that elimination points. Thus, 46 is the total. Twisted Mind, as I mentioned earlier, they did put a good number, but it's only the shortage of placement point this time around. There's 39, but I think with how well Twisted Mind maintained themselves on the top spot, they might maintain that number 1 as well.
Oh, this is a solid play from Twisted Minds. I think they managed to do it just by a few points to maintain the number 1 spot because they were ahead of Buriram earlier on. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the final count of point tallies are. But Heavy performing very well this time around for Vietnam as well. PE Sports kind of faltering, losing out on this. All 3 Malaysian teams faltering when they truly needed to pick up those points. If Toda had that 19 elimination point run now, oh my god, things would have been so different.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if it's a matter of timing in terms of switching tactics, but that could have been not like per map. But before we go there, let's head over to the standings. There you have it. Twisted Mind maintained at number 1 spot. Burim United, their second Booyah. But again, going back to like the scenario, the analogy of the championship or the champion rush condition, it could have been Buriram United grabbing that championship if we are on that level. But Evo's Divine will be, well, feeling bad because they have been pushed down from the number 1 spot, but they're still in a good spot because they're very, very close in terms of numbers.
Yeah, this is the warning for Twisted Minds. This is the warning for any other teams out there that wants to, number one, underestimate Buriram, or number two, underestimate what the double point day can actually do to the overall leaderboard. Teams like EVOS, teams like Bigatron, teams like Heavy, who have been hustling the whole day, this is a warning to them. Teams like Toda, Vamos, Expand, this is a very big motivation for them. One game truly can change it all. They just need to manage their pacing. They need to manage the number of points that they're picking out there.
Yeah, and it's no surprise that Borneo United can get 2 booyahs because we've seen them do so much. It's just how they approach this. It's how they slow down. If this is something planned, again, that is a theory. We cannot confirm unless Borneo United confirm it. But if it's something planned that they didn't work that much in the beginning part or early parts of this day, and then they managed to get this spot after 2 maps or 2 good maps, then that is just them showing us, yes, the how could I say this? The text on the scene in terms of explanation is not clear enough. Hopefully what we've done is clear enough for you.
Dude, they were in the 11th spot and now they are in the 2nd spot. And as far as MVP leaders go, they are in the number 1 spot 2 times. Get high, Wasana, back-to-back, 14, 13 eliminations. Hyung is hot on their heels though. They better watch out.
Yeah, better watch out. I mean, there's a lot of potential. Going back to what you mentioned, 11th spot, they jump into 7, and then they jump into the 2nd. That is what they have done. But let's not take it away from the team of the day. The ones who grab are taking, holding the number 1 spot. Twisted Mind, 65 elimination, 38,438 on the damage. But despite all of that, no booyahs just yet.
Yeah, no booyahs just yet. That is a huge, once again, warning for Twisted Minds themselves, because without that booyah, walking away with the championship becomes so much more harder. They have to get used to it, and they have to start right now.
Yeah, I mean, we know Twisted Mind. Twisted Mind is a team that can put in so much elimination. It's just working with that booyah. We're working with that winning condition. They can even slow it down all throughout like 1 map. If they meet the winning condition, they just slow it down to the final moment wherein they just take advantage. Full man squad against everyone else. They have Saming. They have Saming. They have a good combination of Expose and Diamond. Diamond and Nameless, and then Expose they're in the mix as well. They know, or we know, that they can fight on a 4v4 for the final circle. All they have to do is survive.
You know they can reverse it out. You know they can make you see red. You know they can climb up all the way to the top. The question is, will they be able to do that when the time is right? Because you need to meet certain conditions now in order to be able to rise to the top in the most efficient manner. Do not... It's like just chilling before you really need to hustle what everybody else is doing so much to get to the top, right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have done a lot to get to the end of the show. Today has been a phenomenal day. It has taken a lot of energy from us. Therefore, we need to replenish, we need to rest, and we'll come back to you tomorrow, same time, same place, for all of this crazy action. Neptune and Mustachio signing off from day 1 of preseason here in 2025 FFWS Spring.